Boom. 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 Boom.
Hello and welcome back to the Pop Tab Podcast, the podcast that's as sweet as soda for breakfast. I am one of your hosts, Brent, Kruscke, the upholder of the unpopular opinion, and joining me today, as always, the Gundam Guardian, the ghost host, Jacob Stokes.
Boo!
The Pop Tab Podcast is filmed in front of a live Twitch audience. If you want to be part of that audience, head on over to twitch.tv/RealPixel to do just that. Or if you just want to listen or watch the VOD later, patreon.com/RealPixel is a great place to do it. Or the VODs are available on youtube.com/RealPixel. It's available in a lot of different places. You can definitely check it out the way you want to check it out. How we start every show with a little bit of housekeeping of what streams are going to be coming up. Essentially, I talked about it last time we were streaming, but I'm going to be doing Bloodborne. And if I finish Bloodborne, I might just do a little bit of Final Fantasy X because I'm still working through that.
I feel like you've been finishing Bloodborne.
You're
gonna do Final Fantasy on stream?
Yeah, just because I don't have another, because I think what is going to happen is Bloodborne's going to end, and I'm going to be like, well, I've only been streaming for an hour and a half. I might as well stream for another 2 hours, make sure there's enough here for a stream, but I don't want to start a new game then because of the next week's Alex here, so I got to figure out what I'm playing next. We'll see. Or I'll just jump to Dark Souls 2 because I'm already like in the middle of that game, so. Because I streamed that a long time ago.
I remember.
And I do want to beat it,
but
I never beat it. But I'm like, I got to just get to the end now.
You just want to be? Oh, okay.
Yeah, just get the check mark, just to say that I did it.
I get it.
So that's what streams are going to be.
You're missing that one in Demon Souls, right?
Yeah.
And Sekiro. I don't think you beat Sekiro.
Yeah, I didn't beat Sekiro.
I don't. If we count that.
Yeah, I'll probably do Dark Souls 2, Demon Souls, because I'm more excited to play that than I would be Sekiro. But I might go back to Sekiro now that I'm doing a lot more countering and different things that are in the other games that Sekiro is really based on. Where when I first jumped to that, I'm like, this doesn't work like I want.
Then you'll be ready for Elden Ring.
Yeah, then I'll be ready to take on Elden Ring. Maybe I don't know. That game's so freaking big. But yeah, so that's what stream's coming up, and then we talk about what we've watched, played, and everything like that. I actually watched a ton of stuff because last week we didn't do a show. I apologize. I was sick. So I just sat in bed and watched a bunch of stuff. Some of them I didn't count because I definitely would turn it on and I fell asleep halfway through. So those ones I didn't count that I watched. I'll go back and finish them in the eventually. But there were some that I actually watched all the way through, finished all that. So I checked those.
I got 7 things I watched.
7 things? Oh man, I felt like I was doing good, but I guess
finished
maybe not.
Temptation Island, which it's not listed on here, so I didn't count that.
I have 7 things.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's crazy. Exactly the same. Have you been playing anything too?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I have 8, but I guess I don't know if it's a TV show. So let me see.
Yeah, that's Temptation Island's not on there if you're looking.
No, I have not finished that yet.
This is my first any liquid today. I don't know what it is. I just woke up and just haven't had anything to drink all day. But setting this down, I feel shaky.
Oh no,
it's
not here.
Something.
But Temptation Island we were going to finish last Thursday, but we weren't able to use the studio, and so we did that instead.
On this Thursday, you got other plans, maybe?
I do have other plans, but we might audible because I do want to finish Temptation Island, and I want to get caught up on Solo Leveling. I feel so far behind with it because it's been out for so long.
Yeah.
And there's so many people.
I think there's only like one other season left, potentially,
for the Sungju hit the main guy's storyline because like we talked about, the manga keeps going with other people, but
it's like side shoots. Really.
Yeah. So
I also finished Mythic Quest. I didn't put that in here too.
I got 3 episodes in, I think.
Okay, very minimal, not super consequential.
Well, you watched all of it, so I did. The last episode I watched was the murder mystery one, whatever episode that was.
That was a fun one.
That was a great one.
I really liked that episode.
That was a great episode.
But again, I think the best parts of this season and of the episode are the parts that aren't the through line stories, which I really loved in the other ones. Mm-hmm. Granted, their highest rated episode is still Soft Quiet Death, Dark Quiet Death.
Dark Quiet, something like that, yeah.
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 Dark
DQD?
DQD.
Yeah, DQD.
Which is it's so unrelated to anything. So they do those one-shot things really well. Or I like the gimmick pieces of an episode that can tie to the greater story, but the greater story this season didn't do it for me at all.
That's fair. I mean, like I said, I'm not very far in, but it also feels like... I can't wait
to talk to you about it when you finish that.
There also feels like a little bit of... This season's like a juggling of we're finding where the big story's going to be. We don't have a big story this season.
Well, that's it. That's really it, because measured beginning to end, there are definite changes in characters, but not in their character.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
What's her face? The tester that became the developer... her character, at the award show, I went, oh shit, bitch, get over yourself. Holy
for real.
crap.
Well, for real. But that's kind of, I mean, we saw her turn into that in season 3.
Yeah.
With Playpen.
Yep.
Right.
It's crazy.
And her being like, I'm actually the baddest bitch ever. And she was thankful originally to Poppy, but then kind of whatever.
Yeah.
Now we're getting real plot oriented.
Very excited to watch more of it. I just haven't got back to it.
I want to
yet.
watch Side Quest because I think it's only 4 episodes at the 30 minute mark.
Mm-hmm.
And it has Derek Waters in it, who's the guy who did Drunk History.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Derek Waters. So I don't, he's in the show as in like season 2 or 3 as one of the like guys downstairs who's like, we can't do that. Like that's not possible, whatever, in the sea of programmers. And I'm excited to see what Side Quest is. I had no nothing.
Just what it
I know
is.
nothing.
Yeah.
Just that it exists. It's small. I saw the 4 episodes, but
I guess I finished something else this morning. I finished season 3 of Reacher.
No.
Watched through all that. I've watched all the other seasons, obviously. It's a good show, really well made. Anderson nails it. It's great. This big thing in this season was they got a guy bigger than him to fight.
Yeah.
And the fight, like the fight finally have like a fight scene, obviously. And it's
Nathan
almost,
Jones or Garrick.
Garrick. Oh, yes. It's
No, is it really him?
I think so, right? Isn't that
Really?
the whole reason we brought him up? What's his name?
No. I
Oh,
mean,
no?
maybe you did.
Oh, maybe that's. I thought
But I
that's
was
why we
like,
brought
he
it-
just plays
maybe
big
not.
white man in a lot of foreign films.
Maybe not. Then I'll look it up. But
Sorry. I'm derailing. You go ahead and talk to me. I'll look it up.
okay. But it's funny because they even know what they're doing. Because essentially, what happens is they have a fight. One guy wins, but then the other guy gets back up, and he's like, "Are you kidding me?" And then they keep fighting. The other guy gets back up, and he's like, "Oh my god, are you kidding me?" And it's like, "This is what we want."
Oh my god!
We
So
want them.
I typed in Reacher, and of course I get the big banner at the
Yeah,
top,
yeah.
and it's him and big guy who they didn't really show in that trailer fighting
Mm-hmm.
back and forth, and it was like this season's even bigger. And it's him punching up, and I'm like, dude, they know what they're doing.
Exactly. That's what it all. I mean, the whole show. It's got a good story. It's got a good season and stuff. And I think my favorite part about it, and maybe it's because it's so. It feels like each season it even talks about that this season's based on this book. Like it doesn't say based on the character from Lee Child. It's like this season based on the title of the book that it's based on. But I feel like we're getting a lot more character.
Lee Child. I thought Tom Clancy
No, not Reacher.
did Reacher. I didn't know. I mean, I know it's not war thought or war focused.
Yeah.
His name is Nathan. No, Olivier Richters.
Is that
It's
him?
Oliver with an extra I.
Oh,
Like Olivier is how I imagine.
that big guy.
Oh, I'm seeing him.
He's 7'2" is what I saw because I was trying to explain to Bethany. And I was like, "This guy's fucking. Look at this." And
This is
Reacher
illegal.
gets,
Yeah, 7'2". The Dutch Giant is what he's called.
there he is.
He made his debut in Black Widow.
But they like I said, they just keep fighting back and forth, and it's like, oh my god, this guy's getting back up, and it's like, yeah, he is. Keep going. We're not done yet. It's good. It was fun. But we get character deaths, which are exciting because I feel like every
cool.
time we get a TV show, it's like it's always the
It's the
characters.
procedural that they get close.
Right. Reacher goes into a scenario, gets wrapped up in it, and then he kind of pieces out. And there's characters that he keeps bringing back, essentially one, but every other character's new. So we get to see Reacher come in, deal with these characters. A lot more characters, I would say, die than usual TV show, which I just like to see. It's like I don't know if anyone's going to make it through this show, which is really cool.
Sure.
Fights are well handled, all that stuff. The gore,
Nice.
just a ton of fun. I really liked it. Dude gets stomped out in this season. I was like, damn, this is brutal. It was really cool.
Oof.
So good season. If you like the other two, you're gonna like the third. If we're in debate about it or haven't picked it up yet, or if you haven't picked up the show, totally worth a shot. Check out the first season. It's like I said, really well made, and main character totally just absolutely knocks it out of the park with that freaking role. So. Roman says, I was so bummed with Reacher Season 2. It was such a drop in writing and atmosphere. With Season 3, relieved to see it's getting back on its horse. Just finished it the other day, too. Good. I've heard a lot of people say they didn't like Season 2. I can see the complaints with Season 2, but I still enjoyed it. Like, I'm like, oh, I hear you. Totally. I still enjoyed it. It's a lot more about Reacher and his friends instead of Reacher just coming in and going like, hey, you're doing stuff, I'm here to help, or I'm tied to this somehow, some way.
Yeah.
So I think that might have hurt it a little
Well,
bit.
I think, maybe I'm generalizing here, but the people I know that like Reacher, just not people who watch that stuff as much for fun, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like, a lot of people I know that watch it are the ones who think they're American Badass.
Oh,
You know what I
see.
mean? So they're like, oh, it's now about him. He's not dark, mysterious, just fucking good at, I don't want to say kung fu, but I don't know,
Yeah.
whatever, martial arts
Whatever
in
he
some
wants,
capacity.
yeah.
He's good at beating the shit out of people. Roman, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not pushing that on you. See what I did there? But
Gosh.
that is something where I can see, without having, I don't know anything about this show or the previous movies. I know nothing about Reacher, but that's what comes to my mind.
I think my
Of just like they see the gimmicky thing and they go, oh, this is the same thing that happened to Fast and Furious. There's those people who like the first stuff,
yeah.
and those people who like the last stuff, and the people who like it all. I think the people who like it all might have like a backwards looking thing, but the people who liked it for what it was and thought it got stupid,
Yeah.
that's the people that I'm like, okay,
You might not like
we might
season-
have
yeah.
been stupid the whole time, and you just didn't know. Maybe it's The Boys, season 1 to 4. Those same people that like by 4 they hate it. You know, I don't know.
I my favorite thing about watching Reacher, because it's so easy to put on and watch, is because Reacher just will kill people, and it's just so refreshing to see a show where the main character will just be like, "No, I want him dead."
It's so refreshing.
It's so nice, dude. It's so nice because it's like,
No, I get it. I felt the same way when I first watched Arrow.
yeah,
Season 1, I was like, oh, a superhero that's just killing the bad guys.
fantastic.
I'm not looking for that as much anymore. Like, I don't care.
My favorite-
and he loses it. It was almost like they did the takeaway, which I was like, because he kills someone and his. Do you watch Arrow?
Only what I needed to for Flash, really.
Okay, well, this was all before Flash. He has a like in killing someone, saving the day, whatever. One of his best friends dies.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is his only best friend. And his best friend knows who he is now and goes, "You shouldn't be killing people," and dies. And he goes, "I'll never kill another person ever again." You know.
Oh no.
And it was like,
Yeah. No,
okay.
for me,
that
it's-
you have failed this city. He doesn't say it anymore. It's only a season 1 thing. You know, he probably says it just to bring it back.
For me, the Reacher moment that I just like, and it kind of happens in every season, but this one was very much like they're like, "Hey, don't worry, we're gonna arrest the guy. He's gonna get his justice. Don't worry." And the guy goes, "Justice? He hung my friend up and gutted her like a pig. I don't want justice. I want vengeance. He's going down." I'm like, "Fuck yes, exact, done, easy."
he hung my friend up and gutted her like a pig.
Yeah, essentially, it's
Jesus.
there's some real bad people in this show, but
Yeah,
but
it
it's,
fucking sounds like it.
It's
so funny because it sounds like I'm only watching Ted Lasso type shows or whatever too, but I'm going home and watching like French Extremity every once in a while.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just like, no, I'm eating a bowl of cereal.
I just like a character that's finally able to go like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna kill these people," and everyone else in the show's like, "What are you doing? You can't do that." And he's like, "No, I can."
And he's like, no,
I'm gonna do it.
gonna do it.
Because after I'm done here, I'm just gonna walk away, and I'm gonna be someone else somewhere else until I'm needed again.
Which is so funny because they'd be like, we can draw a portrait of this guy. Like,
oh yeah, it's
this
not
is
hard.
a caricature walking around.
Yeah, he is
Tom
huge.
Cruise, even though we obviously know who he is.
Yeah.
That's a guy who blends in.
Yeah, not this guy. That's gonna be very easy
Alan
to pick him
Richardson
out.
does not blend in.
It's so funny because there's a part where it's a bunch of story stuff, but essentially he gets ID'd. And they're like, "Hey, can any ID be made?" And the guy's like, "Well, they got a sketch from the record store guy, but it's going to match any linebacker out there." And it's like, I mean, yeah, I guess. But how many are out there? It's like a throwaway line, but it's like, but also that still narrows it down a lot.
No, and this guy's bigger than a lot of linebackers.
Yeah, it's just so funny. But no, totally good. Really enjoyed it.
That's good.
And then I got another TV show I watched. Can't stop talking about it. I watched the Devil May Cry show. Came out on Netflix on Thursday. Watched all 8 episodes Thursday. Then afterwards, I went, "Bethany, you need to watch Devil May Cry." I watched 5 more episodes that night with her. So I watched
Jesus.
13 episodes that first day.
If you thought that, why did you watch it all? I've gotten an hour into an hour and a half movie and thought at this one point, Shay now needs to watch this. I shut it off. That's a movie.
Because here's the thing is, I liked the show because I like the Devil May Cry games. I think they did. It's not the story of the games in anime. It is, here are the characters and here are the beat points that are important, but we're putting them in the anime show in a different story arc. But you got the music. They've got other music in there. They've got hits and beats and things like that. I'm like, this totally is what I wanted from this show. And then the ending kind of all comes together and I went, "Oh, this was fire. Oh, I need to show more people this." I didn't know I think Bethany would have liked it either way, but it was like, I think there's moments in there, and even watching it,
That's crazy.
I'm like catching little things, and I looked at her and she's just like, but wait, what about this? And I was like, remember what he said? And she's like, oh. And I'm like, yeah, I know, right? It's like I like watching her watch it to the points that I was like, I made that realization when you made that realization. It's so much fun. It's so good. So good. It may be, I'm trying to think.
Oh, Kevin Conroy is the main character in it.
Yep.
That's crazy. It's been 3 years since he died.
Yeah. It's
also happy to see Scout Taylor Compton.
Yes.
In there.
But then also you got, what's his face? Johnny Young Bach, I think.
Bosch?
Bosch?
There's an S in there.
Oh, is there an S?
I have no idea who this is.
That's the second Black Ranger. He's Adam.
Oh, no fucking way.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Oh my God, he looks so different.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. I'm like, okay, oh, he's in Akira. Oh, he's 285 episodes in Bleach. Like, that's impressive.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, fucking the MMPR movie.
Yeah.
But look at that hair. Look at that. That's a different person.
Yeah. I mean,
that's great though.
But yeah, he plays Dante. He does a great job. I think overall the show's really good. Has some really cool moments. It also doesn't have an episode like the Dark Quiet Death, but there is an episode that definitely stands out. And I'm like, wow, this is really
yes. And that episode
artistic.
is The First Circle.
The First Circle,
season 1, episode 6.
Yep. It's a good time. So totally worth it. If you have not checked it out, watch it.
Well, you heard me say I pitched it to Shay because I told her about Castlevania, and I was like that, and I really enjoyed that. And then I was like, actually, if you just want to watch Castlevania, because we were looking for a movie that I'll get to, but it's 4 episodes at 30 minutes. I was like, this is just a movie.
Yeah.
Like that. Why are you lying to me that this is a show in any capacity? The 4 arcs is just a 4-act story, if that's what you want to call it.
It even got me. I re-downloaded the first Devil May Cry on Xbox and played through because it's like super short. It's like I think 6 hours is the whole game.
What's the newest one? Is 5?
5.
So
I think.
Why didn't you do that one?
Because I was like, I'm just going back to what I remember playing. Like I haven't played 4 or 5. I played 1, 2, and 3.
Which one came out on 360?
I think 4.
4. I played that demo.
Maybe
a lot,
3.
And I was like, dude, what do they call that? Play style, action something.
Oh. For me, it just feels like an arcade game at home.
But it's like it's something about the 3D fast-paced action of it had its own genre title, and I was like, I've never played a game like that before, because at that point I was not a gamer. But it felt really cool. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, no, I mean,
maybe it was Action Arcade. Honestly, maybe that was the name. And I was like, I've never played a 3D game like this. That is an Action Arcade, whatever.
It's just a ton of fun. It's really easy to turn on. I mean, like I said, it's super short. I think I'm on mission 17 out of 23. And that's why it feels like arcadey, is because you finish a point, it's like mission complete. Here's your score rating. And I'm like, wow, this is a game out of time now. We don't really see this screen anymore.
Truly.
So totally worth watching. I can't recommend it enough. It may be one of my easily like top 5 adaptations from video game to TV show. I put that with the stinger on it that it's not a direct adaptation. Like Last of Us, I think is a masterwork of
1-to-1.
1-to-1.
Yeah.
This isn't a 1-to-1.
A comfortable, creative 1-to-1.
Yes. This isn't a 1-to-1, but if you play the early games, you can't do a 1-to-1 because they didn't know what they were doing when they made that game. Like a thing in this one that a character has to like figure out and come to terms with is said in the first 3 seconds of the game. It's like blank, blank, blank. Now you know. And they go, yeah, I know. And I'm like, sure. But the show is like, let's build upon this. So very different, but really, really good. So those 2 shows I watched, and I got 7 movies.
That was just a show?
Those are just my shows.
Okay.
So I've got 7 movies. Castlevania series was such a great surprise, starting off great, with each subsequent season getting somehow even better and better.
And I love hearing that because I watched the first season right as it came out because it was produced by Noah Hawley, who did Fargo, my favorite TV show.
Oh, okay.
It's the only reason I watched it. Well, and I also liked Castlevania, the video game.
Interesting. For me, it's Adi Shankar. Anything he touches.
Now I know.
Yeah.
That's the name, and I know who. I know that name. But Noah Hawley, he was just a producer. He didn't create this show.
Yeah.
Like he's not. He's in the credits, of course, as a producer, which they are helpful in that capacity.
I think same thing with Adi's just like a producer on Devil May Cry and Castlevania, but he's like it's his animation studio he's built.
I think he got writer on Devil May Cry.
Oh, did he? Okay. It always says produced by in the credits, which has got a fucking awesome song.
He gets creator.
Oh, he
It
is the
looks
creator
like.
of this?
Yeah, I don't know.
Awesome.
He got producer in Castlevania.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Power Rangers short though.
The Power Rangers short and Dread. Dread was the big
but
one.
Dread for me, I didn't tie the name to it as like you made this great thing because it was the first. You know, I didn't go into Hereditary and come out being like Ari Aster.
Gotcha.
But then when they did the second movie, Midsommar, I was like, Ari Aster's next movie. Like I then took it to the next thing. I like, oh, there's more. But
I think when Adi was doing the internet, the Power Rangers short, the Dirty Laundry, when he brought back Thomas Jane for Punisher, that was when I was trying to do a lot of internet movie stuff, like really hardcore. So I was like, give me Adam Green, give me all the people that are doing the internet movie making on YouTube or whatever. So that's why but his animation stuff is so cool. He's got that perfect like 1998 to 2004 animation style that I'm like, I really dig this. This harkens back to a time.
I've heard that about the style, but I have no touchstone for that. But watching Castlevania, I finished it all as a movie, just went straight through it, and I loved it.
Yeah.
But then they're like, oh, season 2's coming. I was like, I'm good. And season 1 doesn't end like it doesn't end.
No.
It very much was like, oh, look, another season. And I was like, I'm good.
You see, you do meet Alucard in season 1, right? I'm trying to remember.
I think it's the very end.
I've seen 1 and 2.
I mean,
and
what
that's
year did that
so
come
far.
out? 16, 17,
Yeah, it was
right?
a while back.
But I think it was the very end. It was the meeting in whatever fucking like mausoleum.
Yeah, where they like prove that they're all both on the same side, and then he reveals who he is and stuff. Yeah. I finished season 2, and then season 3 came out during probably a time with the
there's
store
Nocturne,
and
right?
there's been a lot of stuff. I haven't gone back, but I
didn't
need
watch like anything when the store TV show was.
Yeah, now that I'm done with them, like I'm gonna go back and do Castlevania because
I'm gonna
so
do
good.
it just because I enjoyed Chainsaw Man, and I've been watching enough Gundam and stuff that I'm catching like an attunement to it. I almost have to go like Western to Eastern. So I'm like on my way east.
There you go.
Through animation styles.
So moving off TV shows into movies that I've watched, quick ones because this one was a rewatch. I watched The Meg.
Cool.
So we could watch Meg 2
For the first time?
for the first time. What a blast!
I had a blast.
What a movie! Now
I gave it a heart.
there is I think even Jason Statham came out. He's like, I wasn't very happy with the Trench because it took away a little bit of the seriousness and the gore was kind of pulled back.
Yeah.
And I think if I hadn't been told that, I don't know if I would have noticed as much. Now that I think about it, I go, oh yeah, it definitely was. And I see what you're saying because there's a lot of like, oh, it's happening right behind something or whatever.
Well, that's
but
why
I feel like the hits are still there.
It was we'll call it seriousness that made the Meg a surprise for
Yeah.
me. I was like, oh, silly, goofy shark movie. And then I got the end and I was like, that was like really good. Like I really enjoyed that movie. I could see a lot of the movie making in it of we have this particular character in here and this company has a production so that we can put this movie into China so that we can I saw all that, but I still liked it. This one, I was just like, because I liked the last one, I like this one.
Yeah.
This movie doesn't exist in a vacuum because otherwise I go like, nah, whatever.
Yeah.
But because I had a carryover.
Yeah.
Yeah. Glad you liked it.
I did have a ton of fun with it. It was great. Then the next one that got my heart was we watched Plane with Gerard Butler and I forget his name.
I don't even remember was it Luke Cage?
Yeah.
That's Michael something, I think.
God dang.
Yeah, Mike Coulter.
Yeah. He was it was fun. Like I like that movie is exactly what you think it is from the trailer, from everything about it. It's like
Shay wanted to see it real bad.
Start to finish, you're like, I know what is almost beat for beat what's going to happen in this movie, but I'm here for the ride. And I think it was still well done.
Cool.
And the intense moments, like where they're sneaking or they're trying to hide from something, I'm like, I'm feeling it. So totally works.
Nice.
Fun movie. Do you want to jump in with anything as I go through my list?
I'll go fast too.
Okay. So then I finished Dune. I finished the first Dune.
Just finished it?
Just finished it.
Okay.
Didn't get my heart. But
well, yeah. How does the last fucking 15 minutes of a movie get your heart?
But I finished it because I was going to watch Dune 2. And I watched Dune 2.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Oh, you said you were gonna, so I thought that meant you didn't. I was like, okay.
But I put on Dune 2 and it started and I went, nah, I should really finish Dune 1, so maybe I have some idea what's happening. So I went back and I finished Dune, and then I went back to Dune.
And then you go, oh, I can log this. How can you be falling asleep during movies and go, I won't log it? But then like watch it in 3 segments over 2 years and fucking rate it. Okay, whatever. Go ahead.
So then I watched Dune 2, and I am so happy that there's people out there that like these movies, and they're what people wanted from an adaptation. I don't get it, but I'm happy it's there for everyone else.
I'm surprised at how much I loved Dune 1. That's very, you know that.
Yep.
I very much enjoyed Dune 2, but I came out of it thinking the first one was better. Everyone else very much the opposite.
Yeah.
And I was surprised by that. Because I was like, as someone, I read the books. The book. I tried reading the second book. I fucking hated it and stopped immediately.
There we go.
And after that, I just did a quick give me some overview of what goes for it. It doesn't get better. And I was like, it's too space magic.
The next movie that they're working on is a culmination of kind of everything, right? They're kind of trying to, okay.
Great question. Because I'm good.
You're good.
I'm good. I mean, I'm going to go to what am I going to do now? Watch it?
Yeah.
But this one was one where I was like, you made more changes to how it actually, like the story. Like,
okay,
we're going to edit this one piece. We're going to change this. And also, I think because you can't really, it's one of those things where you're reading it and like, how do you visualize that? I can't picture that on a screen. How do I frame that? You know?
Yeah.
A baby's sentience. How do I frame that?
Yeah.
Weird shit.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Yeah, those shots and
Yeah, and I was like, I just don't think that works well. Or spice orgies. I'm like, I don't think they're going to do an orgy on screen. So there was just more like creative changes. But also, I think because of the pace of the second part of the book and this part of the movie, I think it's just more confusing to me.
Oh, I was very confused.
I know what's going on. So I'm aware of what's happening, but I can also, it's one of those things where you watch your favorite movies with the people next to you and you start seeing different flaws. You're like, or you've seen the mystery movie and I'm watching Knives Out with someone for the first time and I'm like, they're going to get it because of the dogs.
So
the dogs bark.
It's like, right there.
They're going to see it. They're going to see it. It's one of those thoughts where I'm like, I know this story, but they kind of said that weird. Is Shay going to know that him making this choice is choosing jihad because it's what feels good in the moment? Is anyone going to come out of this realizing Paul did the fucking wrong thing for the greater anything because it looks good and feels good in the singular? I'm like, I don't think anyone will. He got all the warnings he could, but did you take away that Paul did anything wrong?
No, not at all.
Then that's what I'm saying.
That's why I was so confused because I knew that's the idea.
And yeah, I know. It's at some point, do you blame Frank Herbert or Denis or whoever who's adapting and say, okay, it was too deep in the text? Like, you have to really pull back in scope and scale and future books and other things to really realize how fucked it is because he wanted to save however many Fremen there were. And it's like, he gets the prophecy. If you do this, you fuck you fuck space. You fuck everybody. And he's like, long live the fighters. And you're like, yeah, long live the fighters.
Well, yeah. I mean, isn't that the point? God. Isn't it like, this is to overthrow? Isn't that the good thing?
At this scale, I can see that, right? And you're in the movie, you're with Paul, you're in the desert, you feel it, you want him to ride the sandworm, him and Chani live forever, everything's great. But when it fucking kills billions of people
to save trillions.
No.
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 I don't know. Because it just stops.
I don't know how many Fremen there are. I mean, I'll say whatever, 1 million. Save this million to kill. Because then he takes those fucking Fremen and like slaughters the universe with the Fremen.
Yeah, but the universe is bad. It's broken. He's got to fix it.
No.
Is it not broken? Because I'm seeing what's his face, which I think is just a terrible. I can't take him seriously. Because
the Padishah Emperor, Christopher Walken.
Because as soon as I see Christopher, I was like, this is. I can't take this seriously. But I'm looking at him and I go, well, he's doing all the wrong things and he's running everything. So they've got to take him down. And if they've got to take out other people to take him down, they've got to do it.
I get it.
So it's all good.
I get it.
I don't see the bad. That was, I think, the biggest
problem.
And
I don't think they show Frank or Denis. I don't think they really showed like, no, this is going to be terrible. And I think in the movie, particularly, they spell it out, literally writing. You can't not read it. But in the movie, it's like mumbled in this weird. There's time jumps. There's things that I'm just like, where are we in time? Because by the time the fight happens at the end, it has been years.
What?
Like baby is like a walking human.
But the baby's still in the stomach at the end of the movie.
I know. But in the book,
it's been like
in the book, the baby kills the Baron. That's how advanced. I mean, she's a fully sentient thing, so you had to wait for some physicality. But she kills the Baron. So it's like
Arya.
So it's like we have a long time jump, but it's like you're watching Paul gain all this power and make all these decisions in a matter of maybe months.
Maybe.
And I'm like, it almost makes it feel more okay. But in the book, it's spelled out a little bit longer of like, he's speaking to a fully sentient, all of the power of all the Reverend Mothers before her younger sister.
Oh my
that
God.
has all the wisdom in the world, and you're watching him just like actively choose to fuck it all.
It's so crazy to me because in my head
He's
when
fucking snorting that fancy sand.
I'm
you know
watching
what I'm
this,
saying?
I didn't even see him do.
Well, it's in the air. You don't.
Yeah, okay.
You don't really do the drug in the same way.
When
but-
I'm watching this movie and I'm confused and bored out of my mind because the whole trailer is them fighting. That's like 8 minutes at the very end of the movie. It's like crazy.
I don't remember the trailer as much, but
anyway,
I mean, I was enamored the whole time. And
But anyway.
I really did enjoy the movie. I don't want that to sound like a takeaway.
Right.
It's just that watching with Brent's eyes, I'd be like, Gah!
But when I'm sitting here watching it, I'm like, this must have done an amazing job adapting for people to like it. Because if you didn't, I don't know what there is to attach to this movie. Because even
It's tough because I also don't think I don't think I would have creatively done too much different, really. Like,
because
the time jump and stuff, I'm like, how would I show it? There's a whole plot of the guy he kills. I forget his name because he dies at the end of the second one. When they're like in the little canyon doing the thing.
oh, that's like the very beginning of the second one.
Sorry, I meant the first one. He dies at the end of the first one.
Oh, he dies at the end of the first one? I thought that was the second one.
He might die at the beginning of the second one too, but no, the second one starts with them like coming out of the sand, right? And the homies fucking flying up to the cliff sides.
No, that's like 30, 40 minutes in.
Either way, the guy that he kills in the cliffs while they're like they get jumped by the Fremen or whatever,
Yeah.
and they decide to take him back.
Yeah.
That guy, he ends up going and is like has to deal with you kill a man, you get his wife and children.
Oh.
So it's like I wouldn't have put that in. I wouldn't. So like the creative cutouts, the spice orgy, as much as horny me, I'm like, I kinda,
Yeah. We gotta know. Come on.
Let's get
Put it on
100
screen.
people fucking
It's on the
camera.
page, it's on the screen.
Yeah.
It's simple.
I get it. I get it. So I think all of his cuts and the changes I agree with, but it is like. But the people who didn't read Dune fucking loved it. So I'm like,
It's crazy.
I'm like, okay. Because I love Dune, the book. I love Dune, the movies. Like you said, it's a great adaptation.
My thing also was I was surprised how bad the fight scenes felt. Because I was like, because when they're fighting in that canyon, I was like, oh, I'm ready for some shit. Because this is going to be brutal. It's going to be
Yeah,
like,
but there's no audio.
there's no, which is fine. There's no music,
in it.
which is fine. But they're like half crawling, and I'm like, what is this fight style? Like, what are they getting the advantage
I think
on?
the only, I mean, unless you count like a war, that's visually interesting for sure. But I think the only good fight you get is from Jason Momoa in the first movie.
Yeah,
The
In,
training,
hall?
training school.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the hall where he's like taking hits and still fucking up the Sardaukar dude.
And then
What a beast.
and then even like you got the bald white guy. The
Fade Routha, Elvis.
Yes, Elvis.
Austin Butler.
Austin Butler. And at the end, I'm like, they're building to this fight. May your knife, whatever, shatter. And I'm like,
Thy
oh, here it
knife
is.
Chip and shatter.
Here it
the way
is.
he says it, like, may thy knife.
Yeah. And I'm like, here it is. And then they fight. And I go, wow, this just is so.
Also, cowards, they fight naked in the books.
it's
Come on,
so-
show me some
it's
Timothy
so-
Dong, dude.
Also, where was the gore? Because they even do that black and white planet and they're killing people with the knives. I was like, give me some blood in this black. Because it's
like-
going to just be black.
Or even just black blood.
Yeah. There was nothing.
It's funny. I didn't really think about that.
The whole time, I'm like, why was there no, like, they're fighting with knives in the sand. Give me blood somewhere. I was so disappointed by that.
I get it. But I also think, Lionsgate and Legendary, they're trying to make and Warner Brothers, they're trying to make this fucking crazy amount of money movie.
Yeah.
And when you remember those constraints, and I can understand, like, when has he shied away from brutality or something? You know what I mean? Like what he does to Paul Dano in the shower in Prisoners. As a creator, I don't view him as frail in that way. So I can be like, whatever concessions you got to make Dune 2 happen. Because remember, when they finished 1, they didn't have a 2 on the record. They didn't. He probably had a script, but he didn't. I think if you're even as an established creator like that, who's been nominated for Best Picture, Best Director, all that, if you got to move forward, you got to take some concessions. I'm like, I get it.
I think if you were to broke up the movie and the book into 2 movies, and if
the book is broken into 2 books in the book.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Well, in my head, I'm like, if there's a time jump in between the 2 movies, you put the time jump.
It in between. Well, again, they're called Book 1 and Book 2,
right?
But big chapters.
Yeah,
There's 2 chapters.
Lord of the Rings, each book is broken up into 2 books within them, so it's
So same thing. So within that Book 2 in Book 1, there isn't a time jump,
right?
But then Book 2 starts. You go through quite a bit time jump. So
that's when I would have because
I don't. It's deep.
Well, because my big thing,
it's time jump. Then war.
Because the whole thing is the second movie is leading into Paul being Lisan al-Gaib, everyone being behind him, and leading this attack. And that attack, it starts, and I'm like, okay, here we go. And then he's just in the capital of wherever they're at. And I'm like, how did he get here? How did he make it to here?
It has a
what happened?
The book even has it, because I did audiobook. My most recent read, at least. I actually went back, because I have a copy, went back and read it to make sure I didn't have a different something.
Yeah.
Because it's a paragraph.
The battle?
The battle.
Dude, it's like the Lord of the Rings.
And then he's in I was going to say it's like The Hobbit, but and then you're just there. And I was like, this is a Frank Herbert thing, but it's I don't glorify violence. So and the fighting is being so one-on-one and burying them naked and doing the whole thing is like, you don't hear and his blade sliced and the blood dripped and the whatever. It's just like, and then he died is the message you get. They fought, he died. Consequences for 60 pages, Man. So I can see there being something there too. But anyway, I expected you wouldn't like it, but I'm glad you watched it. You had to wait years for hype to die down.
The visualization of the movie, artistry of the movie,
the production design, the whatever,
all that, very amazing, very well done.
I have negative notes. I wouldn't have thought of any of that. I'm like, God, that's fucking awesome.
My thing is just all the characters trying to follow the story is just very hard. At the whole time, Zendaya is like angry, and I go, why is she mad? I don't get it.
I guess we're far enough removed. That is, I think, the biggest change, because that's a change where, how do you do Arya? She doesn't kill the Baron. Arya dies. Whatever, things like that happen in the book, and I'm like, I don't know what I would do. Chani not being with him is such a massive change. She is like, I am full ride or die with you. You're going to get married to Princess Irulan, who is Florence Pugh's character. Yeah. You're going to do that. It's all for on paper, booky, political bullshit, but we're still spirit bonded and whatever, not literally, not a fucking dragon or something, but
right. Well, he goes, I will always
soulmates.
love you no matter what. And then he goes, I'm going to go marry her. And I'm like, I get why it's happening.
And she goes, I get it. Dog, I'm with you to the end. It's me. It's you. Yeah. We do it. Johnny's bad.
What up, Okie?
Oh, what up, Okie?
I was so
he finally watched it.
Confused why she wasn't. I mean, I am also, this whole time I'm thinking, I know Paul's supposed to end up being bad at the end. I know that as a lore thing of the story.
Paul,
but
in the book,
wow, it's just not.
It's funny how I'm almost kind of minimizing it, because I'm mixing the movie, and I read the book before the first movie, haven't since. Yeah. But Chani and Paul have a 5-year-old kid that gets killed before he makes the decision in the war. And that's partially why it's the book spells out so deeply how fucked it'll get, but then shows you so much harder why he makes the decision, and it just makes more sense. So again, you cut down both and you put it in I'll say 2-month gap. Yeah. It makes more sense to me still. But when you go, here's the consequences, you have to go, but here's the shit that pushes him to do those consequences, because he doesn't give a fuck anymore. You know, despite being a fucking omniscient sort of ish person. The Kwisatz Haderach.
I also I just still look at it and I go, well, obviously the emperor and every government, the government body is not running this shit right. Yeah, billions will die, but there's still a problem up top.
You'll also see that he's not the one who's. I mean, he's running it technically, but
there's always somebody.
We'll say more like former governments.
Yeah,
that wasn't always a one-person show, you know.
Yeah,
and it's about the spice traders, and it's about you see her a little bit. She's the one who tries seducing Fade Routha.
Yeah.
I honestly don't remember her name because I think she's just called the Baroness.
Because then it cuts back to her and she's like, I got the needle, put your hand in the box. Then she's like, by the way, I've got his seed. I'm like, okay.
So that was the whole thing, was her whole point for the Count and her is to try to like keep a bloodline going as the whole thing, right, is that they're like genetically trying to modify a person to be a male Kwisatz Haderach, like to be the male Bene Gesserit. So she's like, we need to get shit back on track because she's all about that. But they run a big part of the government. Her and the Baron, her husband, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was like they are massively influential on the whole function of the government, as most Bene Gesserit are. But you don't see, they're like, you think, oh, Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because it's a fucking movie.
But even then, take them all down. We gotta break down before we rebuild.
Very good.
So I feel like it just I was so confused that whole movie, and just when I got to the parts that I thought I would be excited about or thought I would enjoy watching, they just weren't enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, because it's not about the parts that I think a person who doesn't have a Dune touch point would enjoy or should. Maybe not should, but I was surprised when I was like, man, do you know anything about Dune? You seem to love this movie. I'm happy for you. Like, I think it's a good adaptation, and you can watch this instead of the books, but you're missing, you're missing context or call-outs or whatever that make it feel better, I guess. But
it's very surprising to me that people...
I still really love the movie, so I'm not too surprised. But.
I mean, if I had something that was made that well, that looked that well about something that I like, even though things were changed or things weren't a lot, I would still enjoy it.
And that was mostly Dune, too. I mean... What I like about Dune, even as a book, is the political intrigue bullshit before the war and for book one, we'll call it. So in the first movie, it being fucking like 1-to-1 with scenes taken out and moments taken out versus characters or whatever.
Yeah,
I was very much like Dune 1. It fucks. So this movie is so good, and Dune 2, I was like, but they do that. Here's a paragraph that's a battle, but they get the battle in the advertisement, but then you watch it and it's a little bit longer than a paragraph would be, but it's not much longer, and then Paul's there and I'm like, this feels better in a book. It doesn't feel as good in a movie to me, but
right. I'm just surprised how successful it was.
I don't know how many people I know that watch the first one like boring as fuck, and the second one they're like, yeah, and I was like, man, I don't see the difference.
I don't see the difference either.
Show me the difference in these two photos. Like, I'll tell you, if you call one boring, call the second one boring. Like, I think you probably should. But if I'm like, I fucking adore the first one, I'm going to like the second. But there's people who jump the gap,
It's weird. I waited until the second one came out and watched both in cinema over a couple days, and I'm on the same boat. It was underwhelming. And for what it's worth, the first part was more enjoyable.
I'm glad Roman liked the first part more.
Yeah.
That's interesting. If you like, considering them both at a level of boring, even if you like the first one more, you might really like the book.
Yeah, I just thought,
maybe.
But I'm glad people like it. I'm confused why they do, but I'm glad people enjoy it. And I'm glad that he gets to do a third one if that's what he wants to do. They all, I'm glad that's what happens.
The third one, though, the problem is you're launching from a spot of like an off foot. Chani's left on the fucking on Arrakis, right? Like, that's how the movie ended.
Yeah, she's like she gets the thumper, and she's like, and then the last shot is her like waiting for the thing to come, and it cuts back. I'm like,
that is not. Oh, you have to get that.
No,
that is not how the third one's gonna start.
Well,
I am very like that's not how I don't want to say should because I don't have any ownership over this,
right.
But I just go, how can it do?
Well,
but I also, thanks to Hokie, he was the one who said, hey, this book really sucks. I'm going to get it for you. I think it was Christmas. Maybe just as a separate thing.
Gift, something.
He bought it on Amazon for me and bought it for Colin, said we'll do a book club. I must have made it 15 pages, and I said, fuck this shit. Colin then read the whole thing, and they just bitched about it, and I was like, then they said, hey, did you finish that, by the way? I'm like, I'm not going to fucking finish this. You bought it for me as a joke, and the book's shit, and you both talk all day in our group chat about how much you fucking hate this. Well, I'm not finishing the book.
It's also like...
I value my time.
Like Chani being on the island, or on the planet.
Like Temptation Island.
Yeah, I hope it's not about that, because nothing else should have like that
No,
planet
yeah,
should be
Arrakis
done,
is
right?
good.
It's like done.
I mean,
Check.
it's not. We end up making fucking human worm hybrids.
Which honestly makes sense.
We end up fucking worms.
I mean, that makes sense.
I get it.
You know?
47 minutes in, you're halfway through your movie list.
So that's a big chunk of it. So then I watched another Gerard Butler movie, which got a heart. It was just very much, again, it's one of those like, hey, I know exactly what this movie's going to be. It's called Last Seen Alive.
Oh, you didn't say it. Okay.
He essentially goes to a gas station with his wife. She goes in, and then she's gone. And he's like, what's going on? Has to talk to the cops. It's just like a lost wife mystery movie. Then he takes matters into his own hands because people aren't believing him or because they were fighting.
Oh,
sometimes
it's fiction. It's not documentary.
just fiction.
Oh, okay.
And it's just like,
Kind of a Flight Plan or The Forgotten, one of those ones.
yeah, just very like what's happening. Seems very by the books. I thought it was a fun watch, but it's nothing to write home about. So it got a heart. I enjoyed watching it, but it's not crazy or anything.
Nice.
And then the last movie I watched, Bad Boys Ride or Die.
Sorry, I didn't ride or die with you for that one.
That's okay. It was
What was
awesome.
the third one called?
Forever. Because they're like, or no,
For
For
Life.
Life. Because it's like, why not?
I was like, it's confusing. I remember,
Yeah.
but yeah, okay.
Ride or Die is the fourth one. It's a total blast. One, because Bad Boys doing Bad Boys things. Love it. Love those characters. Love the stories. The biggest thing is watching the direction of this movie is like being on drugs. It's insane. It's like
I've
here's
got a movie in my list that's
here's
very
a shot
samey.
that's just the characters talking, but we're gonna shoot it like this. And I went,
Yeah.
sure, dude, I'm in. Whatever.
Yeah, like
And then
take my conscience from it.
like a big part of the movie is that Martin Lawrence's character, he has a heart attack.
Yeah, but
Comes back and he's like, I can't die. I talked to whatever in the afterlife. I can't die. And he's like getting all dreamy and loopy, almost like he's on drugs from the second one, but he's not actually on drugs. But gunfights start happening and he starts being the one that's like, doing the Will Smith shit and stuff. And it's just like gumballs and jelly beans are flying all around him with all these colors as he's shooting stuff. And I'm like, this is awesome. What a blast. What a great time.
that's great to hear.
Tons of fun. And they bring back the kid from the second one. He's also in the third one, but that's dating the daughter.
Sure.
I should don't know his name, but he has like a scene because he's in the trailer. They show like he's a Marine. He's like, you should get a job. I'm a Marine, sir. I'm on leave. And there's a moment where he's like, hey, people are coming in the house. You need to protect the house. And he has his like fucking Marine
His
moment.
dope moment.
So good.
His Marine moment.
So cool. It's great. Great watch. Definitely watch Bad Boys Ride
It's
or
funny.
Die.
I don't know how many Marines you've known or met in your life, but when I think of like, even in movies, the ones that are just like, oh, he was once a Marine, the Dear John. He gets walked
Yeah.
up on and fucking flips and almost
Yeah.
breaks and kills this guy or whatever. And I was like, man, I know I've met a lot of Marines and they are not ready for anything like that.
Well, you know,
We're talking about breaking down, building
Movies.
up. That's great. I know, but it's
Yeah.
just funny because I'm like, the Marine moment is like I hear you.
He
And I
has
respect the Marines, what they do. But the like, you're instant. You made it through this camp. You're you're a killer.
well, I mean, he's on the
It's
couch
more like you're
playing
pain
like
resistant. You've been tortured for 6 months, and I can commend you.
he's on the couch playing like Call of Duty or whatever, and he's like, there's people coming to the house, and he's just like, cool, activates and like starts. And I'm like, I'm in, so in, and they're watching it like
That's
on
awesome.
cameras. It's a great time.
I'm like, look at him go.
Definitely watch Bad Boys Ride or Die. It's a blast. And if
Well,
anything, just
be real. Would you recommend that movie to me?
yeah, it's a blast.
All right.
And
All right.
also,
All right.
just I
All
think
right.
you should watch it just for the directing. It's very
All
much
right.
in my
It's
head.
ambulance. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's like ambulances. You're there like, why are they shooting it like this? I don't know, but this
Why
is
is
awesome.
this drone go? My camera's
There
moving
are drone
60
shots.
miles an hour.
Oh yeah, a lot of
of
few drone shots, couple shots where it's just like, this is the angle you. Okay, we're here. I'm in. Let's do it. It's a good time.
That's very good.
I had a ton of fun with it. So, those are my movies I watched, and the TV shows, and the games.
That's great. We have so much more we could be talking about. So I'm going to rip through mine real
Okay,
quick.
hit me with it.
Got 7 movies I watched, 5 hearts, 2 no hearts.
Okay.
Shay and I did a back-to-back documentary on Netflix. One about a tornado in Oklahoma called The Twister, Caught in the Storm.
Okay.
Very interesting. I enjoyed it.
Good times.
It
not
was
so
really
good,
much
but-
just not good times.
Not good times.
It was
but
just about a tornado hitting a city.
okay.
And it was like, wow, there's some really interesting storylines of the people in these. And I think they found some really good stories of like, here are 3 or 4 different unique takes on what happened. Then I watched Don't Die, The Man Who Wants to Live Forever. This is the documentary about Brian Johnson, the guy who he wakes up and he takes fucking 75 pills and, and red light therapy and he falls asleep at the right times and he's like trying to do everything he can to live forever. And it got my heart because it was just so interesting. I was like, I see his routine. There can't be much more to this story. There was a lot of really good stuff, and I think the direction of it felt positive towards him, but also they showed a lot of the negative comfortably. Yeah, and it didn't feel like a stretch, or they go, "Here's the negative, but we fixed that problem. Here's the negative. Oh, but here's how that got resolved." Like a murder mystery showing you, here's the left open clue, but actually they have an alibi. It didn't have that kind of feeling. It had more like, we're going to try to show you both sides, but I think being in his house and having so much personal time with him, it felt more positive to him than ambiguous, you know?
Gotcha.
But I really enjoyed it. Got my heart.
Cool.
Breaking out of non-documentaries. Right after the podcast 2 weeks ago, I went and watched Ash because you told me that Ash was in theaters, and I didn't know. It did not get my heart.
No!
It was a movie that I was like, I like seeing low budget horror come through because I think it's most accessible low budget for me. Low budget comedies don't hit the same as low budget someone getting fucking ripped to shreds. I'm like, oh, this is, I hope you guys had a lot of fun making this. But this movie just didn't feel like they had a lot of fun making it. It was one of those, which, you know, this is weird for me to say. It had too much color.
Whoa.
It was like, I couldn't see at times.
Interesting.
Because it was so much color. That's just a personal thing. I don't know if it was like, because when the whole room, and we're in a science lab or whatever, and the whole room is lit entirely in pink, I was like, it almost feels like we broke out of style and into something else. I also think there was a lot of really cool visual, like kaleidoscope sort of tessellation things in the air because we're on an alien planet. Yeah, but we also get like a piece of what the aliens are on this alien planet, and they seem opposite of the sci-fi spectrum. I'm like, weird. We're doing weird tessellations, but also we're like steampunk. You know what I mean? I was like, the cosmic tessellation of like warp speed, bullshit like that. I'm like, oh, it's all magic. We're calling it space because of shapes, but it's magic.
Yeah, right on that line of science.
But this one, I was like, I can see electricity running through this, and there's steamish kind of things, and it feels very mechanical. And we got both sides, and that didn't take to me. The audio was good. I thought the acting was good. But the story, when you read it too, it was like such a strange... you wake up, it's very amnesia plot.
Oh, okay.
Which I don't mind. I don't mind an amnesia. Like, how did I get here? Who am I? Am I the villain? Am I the good guy? Like, all the right questions. Dude, I hope you don't want a fucking answer for the first hour 20 of this hour 30 movie. Holy shit. They like drip feed you like flashes, like Tyler Durden. Yeah, okay. And I was like, okay, I guess I saw that, and that visual, trippy and cool. And it's like someone's head fucking melting out of a space helmet. And that didn't happen. It's like all dreamy, but it looks cool. But at the end, I really think the crux of it was just too boring. Just nothing really happened. Okay. She wakes up, everyone's dead. Oh. Do you get to see, I think maybe two, like, I don't know what to call them, without any sort of I guess, altercation. Okay. Thing that will result in the death of one of these people. Gotcha. You know what I mean? You see something along those lines, and I was like, and it just didn't feel exciting. That's unfortunate. And the death was like, oh, he got punched in the throat kind of death, where I was like, oh, we're in space, there's an alien problem here, and we're like alone on a distant planet where the fucking air is made of crystals. And this is how this guy fucking dies. By the guy who's in the raid. Oh. I as soon as he came up, I was like, dude, we got some kung fu coming. Because you don't just hire this guy to be a shitty English speaker. That was weird. Did you hear that? It was like a knock on the wall. Yeah. Anyway. But, yeah, so that movie just didn't take to me. I was glad to see that it's made, but it was like, this should have been released to Shudder. I think it's produced by Shudder, which is another cool thing. Like, I like seeing Shudder make movies, and this feels up that alley of like, if I put this on Netflix, it doesn't feel so different, but going and sitting and spending $20 on candy and popcorn and the thing. And I was watching it alone, which is typically better for a movie for me. And a lot of things just get released to Shudder, so why choose this one to make it to theaters is interesting. Yeah. And they've done, like Skinamarink went to theaters and some other ones, but Skinamarink was one of those opposite ones where I was like, I can't believe this movie isn't good outside of a theater because it's, and I was by myself and it like, if it hit well, but Ash didn't have that same thing. I'm going to do something that's very different. I'm going to leave you alone. I'm going to go pee. Oh, should I talk about any more movies? I'll be back. Hold on. Okay. My problems with Ash, they are deep. They are varied. Alas, is indie filmmaking. And his movie, directed by the craziest name I've ever read ever, but he was writer, director, producer, composer for this movie as well. And his name, which also, surprisingly, people in my life knew this name. His name is Flying Lotus. That's not a real name. I heard someone call this a Flotus movie, which was surprising. But apparently Flying Lotus has some reputation in the musical space. If you see this person, you said, yes, that person's a musician, not a filmmaker. If you didn't know, Brent, movie directed by Flying Lotus.
Is that
People I knew, people I heard about talking about Flying Lotus as if they know who this person is. And I was like, okay. I see composer, actor, music department. So I was like, you must be a musician. This must be someone who enjoys music,
like a
who loves
stage
it.
name?
Well, it's definitely well, I mean, maybe it's not, but let's see if we have a Flying Lotus was born. Nope. Nothing. But directed by a musician, the person who did the score for this movie, you know.
Okay.
So very unique.
It doesn't mean that it's not going to be well made.
No,
we got Rob
not at all.
Zombie doing good stuff and
Not at all.
then not so
Well,
good stuff. But, you know, there was a time. There was
by
a
our
window.
measure, yeah. Well, anyway, that's 3 of my 7.
Okay.
I then watched with the horror movie club. We all went and saw Death of a Unicorn, which we knew wasn't like a direct horror movie. We were all well aware. Had some weird pacing problems. Overall, I think the movie was funny, but it was funny not because of, you know who's in the movie?
Yeah, it's got Paul Rudd and I had a list of names on the
Jenna
poster.
Ortega. They're the 2 like main.
Oh,
they're the
okay.
father-daughter duo. But the one I didn't know who was in it, who made the movie, Will Poulter. That guy's fucking hilarious.
Awesome.
His character was written really well. It was fun. It was fun for that purpose. But the problem with the movie, it's 20 minutes too long, and it's an hour 50. I'm like, this movie really should have been
An hour 30.
Yes, it was less funny. And they also slowly got to that problem where I'm like, guys, can we light nighttime like it's not the nighttime? Like, I get it. This is what darkness looks like.
Oh.
This is a fucking movie. This isn't just their problem. It's lighting in Hollywood, but it was another one where I'm like, God, if I wasn't in the perfect fucking cinematic view right now, I would be seeing nothing because I'm barely seeing anything.
Yeah.
And it's lit by this. And I'm like, you guys are putting a lot of work into this. I want to see it all.
It's definitely one of those things where, again, I was watching Reacher and there's a moment where they're in the woods at night and there's just beams of light coming through and you can see everything. And I go, well, that light's not a light. Like, that doesn't exist.
Yeah,
but I can see what's happening.
Think about the Spider-Man fight at the end of him fucking catching the glider and all that spot. It is like blue everywhere.
But
it shouldn't be blue.
No.
I mean, they're in a city, so I guess we could argue more lighting.
Right.
But it's where I'm just like, I want to fucking see this.
Yes.
But that was a small thing. It did get my heart because I thought it was funny enough, weird enough that I would watch it again. And because I didn't know anything about anything of this movie. I hadn't seen a trailer. I've only seen one of the 2 posters at the time, so I had no idea. But that being said, there was like no like theme to it. It felt like God, who did Twisters? What was his name? It was a 3 name.
Glenn Powell.
No, Lee, the director.
Oh.
Anyway, the director being like, we don't need a message.
Oh,
people.
right, yeah.
This was one where I was like, I can see the message because it's very loud with the father-daughter. It's like they have one of those metaphor moments right in the beginning where he literally like, he's on a plane and he drops his work paperwork and she's resting on his shoulder and he literally like goes and picks up the work and she fucking slams her head on the thing. And I was like, oh, look, he's choosing work over his daughter. Like, how are we going to resolve this in the most long-winded way possible?
Yeah.
But take that away, this movie's about nothing. It's just a more fun time, I suppose. So it got my thumbs up.
Cool.
For family night, it was Possession.
Okay.
Was our theme.
We're getting pretty high on the list now, right?
Yeah, I think there's 5 or 6 more.
Okay.
Which now that I have to think of movies for them, I had Isolation as one, which is our next one, and then farther up the list, I think it might even be the top, is Claustrophobia, and I was just like, oh man, Isolation. What's a really scary isolation movie? I can't think of what to do next because I think of, we'll say, I Am Legend, whatever. It's just like a horror-esque movie about being alone. But that is not. That is a crank down in the intensity so far. That's like a personal fear more than it is a see it on film kind of fear. But anyway,
Isolation, I thought my first thing came for 28 Days Later because
Really?
it starts with him like in the city.
I thought
just
maybe
empty.
I'd show them Frozen
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
because they're isolated on this
Yeah,
one
that
spot
works too.
and it's stuck, but it's not claustrophobic. I was like, you have to be stuck. Or it could be an apocalypse. I thought of the movie Arcadian, which I've told you about, the Nick Cage one, where it's like, here's a family, and then many miles away is another family, and there's some interaction, but it's otherwise alone. But anyway, so we're doing Possession. I jokingly pitched them When Evil Lurks.
When Evil Lurks.
Yes.
Which one's that one?
When Evil Lurks is the one I watched that I told you I watched it here, and it like one of the first movies in a very long time where I was like shocked when I saw something. I was like, oh my God. And then they kept showing it and I was like, yo, this is crazy. They're killing a child on screen in a very gruesome way. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. But the movie's all that. It's just every piece you can think of is cranked up. The guy who did it did the movie Terrified. Very popular movie cover where it's like a dude's head split in half and he's like a weird zombie guy, but his head is like open with like goop coming between it.
Okay.
Anyway, but that movie about possession has great world building. It's an Argentinian film, won Best Picture at their like national film award, which it was crazy. But I would call it an extremity. It is like I told them because they were all like, "No, we'll do it. Yeah, this is about stepping it up. This is about turning it up." And I was like, guys, I'm telling you, if the dial gets here, we can't, backwards is too much a shift. You're going to like, I don't know if you guys are going to be good with this.
Okay.
And I kept telling them, no, we're good. And then Shay separately was like, I don't think I want to watch that movie. And I'm like, I don't think anyone should. I mean, not anyone. You should. I recommended it to Bastion.
Yeah.
Whatever. But this group of people.
Yeah.
I don't
The group
think they
that's trying to tick up the
dial.
scares shouldn't go, here's 15 on 10. Yeah.
And I was like, I get it. But so I was like, okay, well, what if, because Possession is Derek's girlfriend, Lauren, her biggest one. She put that top, it's her fear. But we're talking, what I'll say The Exorcist, classic religious possession movies, The Exorcism of Emily Rose, The Last Exorcism, like any of those exorcism-esque movies. So I said, you know what? She told me that As Above, So Below. When we finished, she was like, "Oh, that was good." Like everyone's like, "We really enjoyed that movie. That was fun." When I saw her for Death of a Unicorn, she actually came, and Derek, of course. She was like, I woke up like in a fever dream last night because my blanket slid off, like one of her smaller blankets slid off the bed, and she's like, but I turned on all the lights, I did all this thing, and she's like, I think that movie got to me, As Above, So Below.
Oh, I was like, Death of a Unicorn?
No,
Okay.
as Above, So Below, because we're at Death of a Unicorn when she's telling me this.
Okay.
And I was like, oh man, like that's crazy, because I enjoy the movie, but I don't find it, right?
No.
I don't find it lasting scary. I think it's tense in the moment for sure.
Yeah.
I was scared watching it the first time. It doesn't have that lasting scare. So then in this mind, we've already decided we're watching When Evil Lurks. And something specific about that movie, and specifically about Lauren, kind of like we heard from Gina yesterday, is there's that website, Does the Dog Die?
Yes.
She's I don't want to see a dog die on screen.
That's
Call
fair.
it whatever movie. And I'm like, you know what? I understand the concession, and like we watched Infested. There's a dog death. It's off screen.
Yeah.
And you understand it to be likely gruesome, but it's off screen.
Yeah.
So I gave her those, and warning. This movie has a dog that dies. You just won't see it. So don't worry.
Yeah, I also hate watching animals die on screen. You don't kill cats on the internet or whatever, that Netflix thing. I didn't watch that because I was like, I don't even want to hear the video, because I know you don't see it, but I don't even want to hear the video that these people are watching and reacting to. Not for me. But it's
God, that documentary was so good,
but it's
though, dude.
different.
It was so good.
For movies, I'm
You
like,
don't fuck with cats, is what it's called. Don't fuck with cats.
If it's I can watch a movie and go, that scene wasn't necessary, but I can get through it to get the story or whatever. But I also
Like I Am
do
Legend.
not like it. Exactly.
Like
It's like, man, that scene fucking hurts.
She has relented. I won't watch I Am Legend. This is before. This has nothing to do with my choices going forward. But she's like, I won't watch it because I hear the dog dies. And I'm like, the dog doesn't just die. It's fucking sad. And there are movies where they just kill a dog. And you're like, oh, sure.
I mean, it's like,
thanks, man.
I
guess.
I love the Evil Dead remake, but it's that the dog gets like
The 2013?
it gets I mean, it doesn't die, like you don't see it die, but it's like in the hole getting eaten, and then he pulls it out, and it's all like bloody and
because it's like digging through or whatever. I was like, man, the dog death, but he's got the collar or whatever.
But it's like one of those things where I'm like, I go like, that sucks. I hate seeing what happens to it.
But it's off screen and it's whatever.
But it's such a good movie, you know?
When Evil Lurks is a little bit different because she has the dog thing.
Mm-hmm.
There is a dog that dies, but it's amongst madness.
Gotcha.
Like, I can't imagine having to exist in the space they are. It's like non-crowd, so it's not that kind of panic, but it's just like, you're fucked. There's nothing you can do. You're surrounded by it. And it's like, there's no driving away from a possession. In this movie, it's kind of like it just goes to the next person.
Is it like
oh man,
a scene that actually hits me harder than now that I'm older and I think I understand my fear of like being trapped in crowds or whatever. But there's a scene in The Patriot when they're all in the church and they get locked in and they just light the church on fire. Yeah. And there's that moment where they're all like, I don't know what to do. And the mom just grabs the dog and they go, we're going to be okay. And it's like, oh, fuck.
You're not going to be okay.
That's it. Yeah. They're done.
That's the
they
concession of we're done.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Is it like that? No, it's not that bad because it's not as physical. That one is like you're physically trapped.
Yeah, you're like...
This one's like he lives outside of town. Possessions start happening, which they understand as a reality in this world. They're like 20 years past it. They understand cleansing of these things. They understand whatever. And one guy somewhere else makes a really bad fucking mistake, which very intently in a way, but he makes a bad mistake and possessions start happening. And he's like divorced and his ex-wife and 2 children live in a town, a small town, like smaller than Kingsley, small town.
Oh, okay.
But it's where town is. It's like closer homes, and he goes to save them. He goes to like get them, and as he's getting them, it practically came with him. And dude, the mayhem is the shit that I'm like. In particular, you watch a dog get possessed because it died, and they shoot it's got a whole bunch of rules. You can't shoot a thing that's possessed. It like releases the spirit. It's like funky rules, but they very clearly explain it.
Gotcha. And I should watch this movie because I'm interested. The more you talk about it, I'm interested.
Dude, I think this movie is maybe perfect except for one critical character choice in the last scene that I was like, you wouldn't have done that. Like that is one of the biggest mistakes that I think anyone could have made in this is just to have a character completely like change without possession, notably because it's possession movie.
Yeah.
But I was like, you stupid fuck. I can't believe this happened. Like, and at the end, I'm like, this movie doesn't get this ending if this guy does something else.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a guy. But I was like, God damn it. I don't even remember the decision, honestly.
Okay.
But I think I'm gonna watch
all
it. The same, the world building on it is, I'm like, I'd watch 4 of these.
Oh, okay.
But for her particular fear, you watch a dog get possessed in real time and he like looks at this little girl that's right next to him and he fucking eats her on camera. And it is unrelenting. Like,
whoa,
bites her head like crazy and it cuts away. And I was like, oh my God, the dog. But then the little brother who is, again, the parents are arguing. I'm getting chills thinking about it, dude. The little brother is on the steps and he like leans down the steps and dude, that dog, oh my God, to what he's doing to that girl under the table is like you can't remember that. You can't forget that. Rather.
Okay.
And I was like, I can't let Lauren see that.
Yeah.
She lives with dogs. She loves dogs. She might not like me after this. And when I tell you, dude, we get there to the movie night and they are unrelentingly like, we are going to watch this movie. I'm like, guys, it's weird for me to try to tell you shouldn't. You really shouldn't see this because there's also, dude, the movie to say it's violent is like not
right.
It's an understatement, and this isn't like the movie, The Sadness, or I'm trying to think of any like Train to Busan. You know, where it's like, there's gore, or even Evil Dead. I was like, maybe we could do Evil Dead, and they're like, that's a step down. I'm like, yeah, it's a fucking step down because this shit feels real. Watching a guy catch an axe to the face, but like you don't move the frame. Yeah. Watching a pregnant woman smash her own face with the axe just so that it can move on to the next person. I'm like, you guys aren't ready for what you're gonna see.
Yeah, and Evil Dead has got the gore, but it's done in a way
that's
that's
my body
like,
temperature go up talking about it. Dude, this movie's insane.
Now I need a real quick pause because you say you got about 5 weeks left in this. How many weeks have you been doing it, or how many like different videos? It's like 20 now.
I think it was 17, 16, 17 genres.
How many of these do these people start trusting you when you say things? I don't understand. Like,
Yeah, for real.
How long have you been leading them down this path? When you go, we shouldn't go down that path. They go, I don't know. We should go down that
They're
path.
like,
They go,
the behind us wasn't so bad, and I'm like, it's behind us.
Yeah,
There's
well,
I'm going to show you high tension eventually,
it's
and
like-
that's a step.
that's
up too.
behind you, but we've gotten here because you followed me. Why do you want to take the side route? Keep following me. When have I ever steered you
And
wrong?
I brought it up as a joke. I was like, "You guys want to see the most fuck shit you've ever seen?" And I showed them the start of the trailer, and they're like, "Oh, this is interesting." And I backed out the trailer, and I was like, "Are you seeing the cover?" And it's the woman with the axe like right at her face, like facing her. And in the trailer, you see her, whatever, and it cuts, of course.
Yeah, of course.
But I was like, "You guys want to?" I'm like, "I'm telling you, the frame doesn't move." And they go, "Yeah, but it looks fucking creepy.
Is it subtitled?
It looks this. It's yeah,
'Cause it's Argentinian? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's all in Spanish."
Gotcha.
And they're like, "No, it looks really interesting." And I'm like, "Unfortunately, you're right. It's really interesting, but it's like at a level I just don't think anyone." And luckily, Shay was like, because I was about to hit play. I had it pulled up. I was like, you fucks asked for this. I want you to know.
Why
this.
don't you just tell them to go like, hey, we're gonna watch this movie, but it's gonna be the last. Like, it's gonna be the thing before because we want to do Scream at the end. Is that the idea? Which is
I don't even know anymore.
yeah, no, I don't know.
Because we watched one slasher, like
but-
one genre typical.
But
movie,
in your
we'll say.
head, you just go, cool. You need to earn this movie. Put it up on the shelf. You go, you need to earn this because we got to get through five more.
Maybe I could, but Shay goes, "I really don't think I could handle that movie right now." And I was like, "Listen, for you say no. There's nothing these fucks could tell me. I won't.
Right.
I won't put you through this movie."
She's trusting you.
Yeah,
she's following
like,
you.
She's like, "Listen, I've heard you warn them 1,000 times." She didn't say that, but I know that's what she meant.
Yeah.
So I was like, "How about we psych them out?" Because I also know, again, Lauren is afraid of possession. So that's why I was like, let me do something non-traditional. This movie's about possession, technically, but it's not religious. It's not whatever. It's like a separate sort of entity in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But then it was like, okay, well, there's 1,000 movies about possession. I was like, maybe
many.
we could do an asterisk and do like, well, Insidious, because there's a possession in
Yeah.
there. It's small and minimal and at the very end.
I was
but-
gonna say, the second one's got more of that, but
yes,
yeah.
but I was like, yeah, we could do that. Or maybe we could do Sinister because it possesses the kids. Like,
Yeah.
not whatever.
Sinister's
And then
good too.
the one I came up with, I'm proud of myself for this one because I gave them the asterisk at the end was The Boy.
Oh,
Because I
okay.
was like, oh, it's a possessed doll movie, is what I told them. And we hit play, and have you seen The Boy?
yeah.
Yeah. So at the end, he busts through the mirror and he was in the wall the whole time. There's literally no possession in the whole movie.
Yeah.
And they're like, whoa, at least my mom, who'd already seen the movie, forgot.
Of course.
And she was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
and I was
yeah.
like, man, you got to feel it twice. That's good for you.
That's great. I wish I could do that.
I know,
wish.
if only. But then, yeah, they were into it and they enjoyed the movie. It was more boring than I remembered, but I was like, at the end, I was like, I lied to you, but you thought it was possession and it felt like one the whole movie, but I didn't want it to be too scary. And she hit me with a, thank you. But The Boy got my heart again. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed it. So that was a really long-winded one.
Gotcha.
Just
When
to
Evil
talk-
Lurks.
Just
I'm gonna
talk, dude,
remember that.
When Evil Lurks.
Okay.
We have Besh and I have a friend from Argentina named Chris who we've joked that we're all three going to get high and watch this movie because Bastian watched it and also really enjoyed it. But he bought the Blu-ray and everything, so he's got it physical. And I'm like, well, maybe we'll take this one out of bachelor party or something.
There
and
we go.
Watch it with the crew.
Cool. What's next?
2 movies, real quick. Kraven the Hunter.
Yep.
As much as I really enjoyed that movie, I don't want to watch it again.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because I was telling Shay because she was like, "Oh my god," she was laughing. We were both having a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
And she goes, "This movie's bad, right?" And I was like, "I mean,
Yeah.
asterisk, like
Exactly.
technically it's bad." But because there's a shot where he fucking sees his eye in the lion and the lion in the eye and it pulls back and it's like a reflection thing. And I was like, Shay, if this movie were made in the 80s, it would be a fucking American treasure.
Yes.
This movie was so much fun, but I'm like, we'll call them plot holes. We'll call them like, I really hate that we're getting so many characters. But I was like, but The Foreigner's fun. And this, I was like, oh, this is cool. But it is a one-time watch. Like, I'm good.
Okay.
So would I recommend it to people? Actually, yeah, I think it was a fun time. It didn't get my heart though, because 2 years from now, future me, I'm going to look and go like, I don't need to rewatch this movie.
Yeah.
Is really it. I think it was a one and done. The surprise for me though, it got my heart. This next movie,
Oh, okay.
Minecraft movie.
Oh.
That movie was so poorly written.
Yeah.
It was like the screenwriters came up, 6 names,
Oh.
and I was like, oh, that's not good.
Never
Like,
good.
6 people touch a movie
Oh yeah,
all the time. Six writers touch a script all the time, way more than that, and touch in like an influential way. Only so many ever get the duo titles where they fucked with it enough that they get put on the credits where they actually make money.
Yeah.
So 6 people making the credit, dude, that's fucked. That's like
a lot.
That's not normal. That's a lot of iteration. At what point did what line was changed by what person to change? Not good. Movie has a terrible through line arc. The direction of this movie saved everything.
Okay.
Whatever this director was on, he must have flipped and been like, this is a pile of dog shit. And he did everything he could to laugh at the movie with us. And it was so over the top and so ridiculous. Sometimes you get that thing, the too many cooks, kind of effect where it's funny. It goes on too long. Oh, but it's still going. Oh, wait, the joke was how long this thing was. It doesn't do that. It fucking soars. It's just joke the whole time.
Okay.
But I was like, there was deep enough Minecraft cuts and references for Shay to really enjoy it. Whatever. It wasn't for me. The fucking Pig King.
Technoblade,
the Pig King. That kind of stuff. And there's a scene where pigs are dancing and it's to a song called Pig Step, which is like the name of the song, which is a record you can pick up and put in a jukebox.
Gotcha.
And Shay was like, oh my God, they're playing the real song. It's Pig Step. And it was in the credits and everything. But I'm telling you, that movie was so preposterous. Biggest surprise for me, happiest surprise, Jermaine Clement's in it. Matt Berry's in it.
Okay.
And I just love those. And I was like, where's Taika Waititi in this? He must have had a hand in something because these guys coming together is only for like 1 or 2 reasons, really. But it's also possible that it wasn't because the director might have just loved what they do.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say too much on it because I think you're probably going to end up watching it.
Oh yeah. I mean, I
just
almost
one of
went and
those
saw it on Thursday when I couldn't be here. I almost just went. But the people I was hanging out with is like, we don't really have money for the movie. And I was like, yeah, I forget that I just have the thing.
It's quote unquote free. I prepaid. Yeah.
Yeah, I prepaid for it. But I was like, that it could be like, because in my head, I'm going to watch the movie. It's going to be a ton of fun.
Dude, a lot of the CG
insane.
looks really good. There's some parts where it's bad, but in a bad way that I'm like, this almost looks homemade.
Nice.
And it's fun for that. Like it doesn't feel low budget because it almost feels like Minecraft did.
Yeah.
Where it's like, Minecraft is naturally a low poly, shitty workspace, Legos, just to build something that that resembles. Or it felt like this movie was that Lego assembly of this. Look, it's a real movie, and I'm like, yeah, it's a real movie. Like, yeah, I can see it. Good job, Timmy. But you could tell the heart that was in it. I was like, even though you didn't care about the writing, maybe you don't even like Minecraft. I think they did, but even if you didn't. You like making movies. You like these characters. You thought this was fun to do. And fuck, it was fun.
I think because we saw the trailer, and for me, I was like, wow, that trailer, oof, this movie's going to be rough. But looking back, I go, maybe that was the point. Like, to not, like, hey, we're getting a Minecraft movie. You're not getting a Minecraft movie. We're making the best thing we can. I am Steve. Let's be clear here.
Moments with I've talked to, I'll say, younger people than me, because it ranges from 5 years younger to like 15 years younger, that are like, we should have gotten a Minecraft movie actually animated in Minecraft, or we should have done this, like the YouTube tales or whatever. And I was like, I hear you, but you need to go to this movie because it doesn't make fun of Minecraft at all. Like, there's nothing in here. There's a little bit of it that's just like, wait, so like gravity, like when they knock down a piece, they're like, okay, like, but it's them learning about the game, and they clearly resolve that. But yeah, like Hokie said. So the guy, I think he's Jared Hess is who directed it. He did Nacho Libre. It's got that absurdity feeling.
Gotcha.
In it. Where you're like, they're not making fun of luchadors,
right? But
also, look how fucking hilarious this is. So
we all know why we're here and what is happening around us, and we're all just here for the ride.
Yeah. So I do recommend that movie. It got my heart. I would watch it again. Maybe not so recently, so soon now, but I would watch it next year. Like it's a fun one.
Good on you. Minecraft. Does it hit top 5 adaptations for you, like Devil May Cry for me?
No.
All right, that's fair.
No.
I'm just checking. Honestly, Devil May Cry
is
might
it
be
an
like
adaptation
top
if
3.
it's almost like a game in the world?
I guess not.
Because it's kind of like.
Did you see the interviewer talking about how Jack Black's been in 3 video game movies, and he went, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "Well, you were in Super Mario Bros. You're in Minecraft, and you were in Jumanji." And he's like, "Jumanji's not a video game movie." She's like, "I saw the movie. You were in a video game." He's like, "Yeah, but it's. I'm gonna let you win this one, but." You're not right. It's like he's trying to be so nice about it. I'm like,
I'm gonna let you win this one, but
and he looks at the camera. He's like, no. And I'm like, Jack Black gets it, but this interview is like, I know what I'm talking about. I'm like, oh my God, just listen to Jack Black. What are you doing? He was in them. But anyway.
A small thing for Minecraft. I like any movie that gives me a musical break.
Oh, okay.
This one has a couple musical breaks, and I was like, holy shit, the director's right behind me laughing. You know, like he's not up front doing a performance. There's like,
and a musical break, like there's.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Because I was gonna say, Devil May Cry, it's got musical breaks.
That's great.
You should watch it.
I plan on watching. Quit fucking telling me to watch. I'm feeling like you.
I know.
Tell me to watch it again, and I'm gonna fucking not do it.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's gonna go right on the shelf next to the newsroom.
Hey, the newsroom's down to one time a year. I cut it down to one time a year.
Yeah, and you fucking did it this year, and it's.
I haven't brought it up. You brought it up.
You did it in
wasn't
February. Jesus.
It wasn't me. All right. Calm, breathe. Okay, we're good.
You want to get back at me to bring up Destiny right now? Bring it up. You want to get back at me? You bring up Destiny.
No, we got so many other things to talk about. We're down to 30 something minutes left. Because we
37 minutes. Yeah.
Because we've got so much stuff happened. Because there was highs, there was lows. I think the biggest thing is all the Switch 2 stuff is probably the biggest thing.
You got a Tron trailer.
Oh yeah,
The movie exists visually.
Yep.
Shay thought it looked cool. She was like, "Oh, is this like? What's that bike? Like, she doesn't know what Tron is." And I was like, "Well, this is great news. We can watch Tron."
Yeah.
So she's like, "Yeah, it looks cool. I'll do it." And I was like, "I guess it doesn't look anything like this."
The first
still
one,
hope
but the second one.
No, the second one too, because you're in the game. You're in the computer. You're in the grid. Well, that's the thing is like she watched it split a car in half and went, "Whoa!" And I'm like, well.
I guess that's fair.
She just didn't know what a light bike was. She didn't fucking put light bike on a flash drive and play that in tech class.
I just went through and like just rewatched a deep dive on like where the lore is and all the characters and how they all meet up and stuff like that. For Tron, I'm like, there's more to it than I remember because there was a TV show that got canceled that I didn't watch. And they were talking, gotta watch the first one. You gotta watch the first one.
We'll watch both, yeah.
It's just visually it's not gonna look like the two other ones.
Yeah, the visual language won't be the same.
But they're talking about like
the grid.
Like Tron being Tron in the first one, and then we get Tron in Legacy, but that Tron might not actually be the Tron we know. It might actually be a program called, I think, Beck was the program in the show that may have become Tron, or like all this different lore stuff.
Who knows?
And I was like, oh, this is really interesting. And I didn't know that in this one, there's one of the characters that is being played by the son of the company that Flynn worked for in the first one. So it's like tying wise, they're really doing well with like the story arc. I'm like, oh, this is cool, way more interesting. I'm
more than I think necessary. Yeah, but
yeah, I was already excited. Give me more Tron. I want more Tron. But I like that it's still really tied together. And I'm like, are we going to get like, is Sam coming back from Legacy? And also, are we getting what's her face who left the system already at the end of this Legacy? She gets out. She's on the bike. She's looking around. She's like, she's in the real world. It's our first idea of the programs coming to the real world, and that's what this one's all about. So I'm like, are we seeing them, or are they like lived happily ever after and not interacting with this? What are we going to get now if you're going to tie it that closely to the first one? So it looks great. I'm excited.
I see we got a new Wes Anderson trailer too. We didn't get to watch that one before, but
I saw that it's what's his face? Michael Cera's making his Wes Anderson debut, and I'm like, that's just a match made in heaven, really.
Yeah. Benicio del Toro is the kind of thumbnail on this one, so I'm kind of curious. See, I did not watch the French Dispatch though, so I got to catch up.
And then I saw that Mission Impossible got a new trailer.
Don't need to see it.
Don't need to see it.
Don't need to see it. I saw it too, and I was like, oh, cool. I'll see it in theaters maybe.
I saw a couple new clips.
Superman,
because somebody was doing like the news was talking about that there's a new trailer for Mission Impossible. You know, they're sitting and it's got the fourth of a screen. So I've seen new scenes, but I didn't watch the trailer. Yeah. Superman got a trailer, quote unquote.
Preview.
Yeah, preview. It's a scene plus the trailer at the end of the scene. Don't need to watch it. Got me more excited than the trailer did.
I think that's those updates. No other real strong movie news I felt too touched on.
No.
For those who celebrate.
I mean, CinemaCon had a lot of stuff, but a lot
Goofy
of stuff.
Movie.
Yep. 30th anniversary
Goofy movie.
Not
it
just
came
a goof.
Out yesterday.
Yep.
Not just a goof.
Not just a goof came out yesterday. It's a documentary on Disney Plus. I'm going to watch it, and I can't wait to watch it. I just haven't got to because last night yesterday we were busy all day.
Yeah,
and so
it was all day.
But yeah, CinemaCon had a bunch of stuff come out, but I've only heard stuff. I haven't seen a lot, so I'm not going to like talk about what I've heard people talk about because there's a lot of stuff about Avatar. The third Avatar, but I'm excited. But I whatever.
You can
Until I
tell
get
me.
to
You
see
can
it.
tell me the day before the movie comes out, it's coming out, and I'll go.
Yeah.
I don't need anything preamble.
Video or real quick
Yeah,
before
I'd
video
say-
games, Epic Universe did their big release.
Oh yeah, they had some like influencers and
A
stuff.
lot of
go
people
and
went.
take a
Saw a
look.
lot about How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berk. I saw a lot of the horror Universal Island. A lot. And I didn't see a ton of the Mario, probably because we've already have Mario somewhere, so people aren't high on
right?
it. What?
It's in Japan.
Yeah,
yeah.
So
it's just
we kind of already
another-
know. The big thing is the new Donkey Kong area, which is I was like, oh wow, that's really. They built this park, had Donkey Kong, new minecart racer, and then they announced a new Donkey Kong game for Switch. I was like, wow, they punted that and we're like, hey, let's kind of tie these together. That's really impressive, honestly.
Well, I think it started with the animated film when they did the revisualization of Donkey Kong. Like they made him look different.
Yeah.
And then that's the new look going forward.
Yeah. So I was like, wow, that's really impressive. Good job. But so much of that park all the parks look really good. And I think the biggest thing is all the characters that are being portrayed in the Isle of Berk. Like the guy that's playing Hiccup is got the voice, the mannerisms. Obviously, he doesn't look like the voice
yes,
actor, but his
yes.
voice and everything is really well done. And all of them, Astrid, everybody else in the park is really good. Was it Rough
I'd love to
Nut
go.
and Tough Nut or whatever? The twins are really, I've seen interactions where they interact with fans while interacting with each other. And I was like, fucking, you guys are nailing this. That's great. Now, it's the first run of these. They're going to age out. They're going to get new actors. How long are these characters going to be
Sure.
as good as they are right now? I don't know, but they're killing it right now, and it's awesome. And I can't wait till I get to go. I don't know when it's going to be, but I'm definitely going to make it there at some point. I also don't know if
At
I
some
want to.
point, yeah.
I don't
I'll
know
make
if I want to go in the next 6 months because it's probably going to be insane. You know,
Yeah.
do I want to go a year and a half from now?
2030 thing.
Yeah,
Maybe not that far.
who knows? But very exciting. If you're interested in all that, there's a ton of videos and stuff out there. A lot of good things. Mm-hmm. Now, video games?
I'll give you one quick one on video games.
Okay.
This Saturday, they're doing the full gamplaygameplay of Marathon.
Oh, I heard they were
The
announcing
Bungie
stuff
game.
that I didn't know it was this
So
Saturday.
we got we got a they said not actual gameplay. It was kind of a CG trailer, but in engine sort of. At least it looked like it could have been. So I don't know that it told nothing, showed nothing. Just like, oh
Kind
look,
of
this person's got blue blood and there's robots and there's a gun in this person's hand. The gun looks kind of cool and robot kitty.
And then Saturday we're getting gameplay.
Saturday is what they're saying, a full gameplay reveal stream and whatever. I've got it in the calendar, but because I'm like I want to like this game so bad already.
know.
Like I need a fucking fix. You know what I mean? I need something.
I wonder.
So, but it's an extraction shooter. I know that much.
Yeah.
Now is it PvE single playerable extraction shooter esque? Like the Division's an extraction shooter technically, but also it's an RPG, I guess.
Right.
I'm curious how it's all going to look out, but I'm clearly very excited. So
Yeah, we won't get to.
I'm tempering my expectations the best I can.
We're gonna try to watch it after Drip.
Yeah, I guess
What time is it?
when it's 1 to 2.
Oh, of course.
So yeah, after Drip.
Okay.
Because Drip's at 2.
Drip's at 2, so we
But
could.
we're here at like noon.
yeah, we have to get set up and, do all
And
that.
we also
so.
know that we're not going to be ready until 2:05.
Yeah.
you know?
So, but yeah, we'll have to watch it afterwards because I'm definitely interested. I hope it's cool. I feel like it's been in the background for so long. I'm like, man, you really should come out swinging. And I'm surprised that the first trailer wasn't as hard swinging as.
Well, the
we're
first
hoping.
trailer to be like, hey, something big coming in. I think it was 5 days from then, maybe
Got
6
it.
days, maybe even a week. It was like, hey, we got a week.
That's fair.
That's enough for me to be like, you know, if the video comes out and that's the thing that blows up on social media, where I just saw this one once. I also saw, I think it was Paris who sent a photo to Blue Sky that was like, oh, new package from Bungie, and it's just like some ambiguous box that's got all the fucking writing over it. That's very, artsy.
Yeah.
I was like, God, open the box.
Open the box.
And he put what's in the box or something on there.
Yeah.
It was like, he probably can't open it till fucking Saturday
Yeah.
or something. He's going to get a PlayStation controller that's all marathon themed or something. So who knows?
You get that box. It says don't open till Saturday.
Yeah.
Are you waiting till Saturday? Are you opening
Yeah.
it? And yeah.
Yeah.
You're wait till Saturday?
Yeah. I love waiting.
But it's right there.
The anticipation.
But it's right there.
Yeah.
You get a box sent to you and it says, hey, don't open till a week. I'll say a week.
Yeah.
But it's got a Destiny symbol on it.
It's got
You're waiting?
the
Yeah,
tricorn
it's
on
got
there.
the
Yeah, of course.
Wow.
I think I'll like it more if I wait.
That's crazy.
I think that's part of the fun of it. It's the foreplay.
Sure.
Am I wrong?
I'm opening that box. Because what's going to happen is I'm going to build it up in my head in a week, and then a week from now I'm going to go, I guess it was a 7.
I'm not gonna build it up and be like, oh, but what if there's like a living animal in there? I
Well,
better
not
let
that,
it out.
but I'm like,
oh my gosh, what if there's a golden ticket, and if I get the golden ticket, I can fly out right now, or what? This is like, what are you? I'm still anticipating. Oh, there's gonna be some cool shit in there. Maybe I'll get a hoodie.
Well, but in my head I'm like,
maybe I'll get a
but
hoodie.
I think in Destiny I'm like,
Like
oh,
I
it'd be
said,
kind of cool.
I said controller. If it was less than a controller, I'd be disappointed. But if it's less than a controller, I'd be disappointed in that same moment just earlier in breaking embargo.
I don't know.
You know?
I mean, no. I mean, you don't share it. Don't
Talk
talk
about
about
what's
it.
in the box. I gotta pee.
Okay. Don't talk about it. Don't share it. I'm just saying for your own eyes. They don't know. How are they going to know? They're not watching you. Maybe they're watching you. Maybe there's a sensor in the box. Maybe that's how they track it. They go, hey, don't open this till Saturday. You slice the tape too early, sends off an alarm at Bungie headquarters, and you're trapped, you're stuck. You can never do anything again. Now I'm psyching myself out. Maybe I'd have to wait. It's like when you were a kid and your parents are like, we always know stuff. And you're like, oh, I guess I have to believe you. But now I'm psyching myself out. I would have to know though. I guess if I were to get that, I wouldn't have to know. I guess I would just have to accept that I'm not going to. I might be disappointed at the end. I'm just going to have to accept that I might disappoint myself. That's just how it would have to go. I think that's it.
So what's in the box?
No matter what it is, if I'm waiting, it's a disappointment. So
No matter
disappointment's
what?
in the box.
Okay. If you wait.
If I wait. Because otherwise.
If you wait, you made it disappointing and it's your fault.
Yep.
Yeah, that sounds like some fucking Brent spin
See,
that
well,
exists
so-
only in your head.
Hey, if that's what the contract's going to be, I'm just going to have to accept that and move on and be like, hey, I'm here for the contract. Because I don't break the law. I'm a very good boy. All right. If the embargo comes in, I can't do anything. I just know you sent this to me. There's an embargo. You sent me disappointment. It's my fault, but you did this to me. Let's move on.
Okay.
So the Nintendo Switch got revealed. It's already been revealed. What is
Yeah,
it?
we can talk. We can talk quick on. There's so much in Nintendo Switch stuff, right? People
yeah.
got their hands on it, so we've seen it in action. We've seen how it works. I think the coolest, let's do one up, one down.
Okay.
What's our up? What's our down about it? You know, up overall, the physical design came together really well. We had the mock-ups and the digitalization. I thought it all looked good. I think it's the Joy-Cons that are I'm the happiest about. I don't give a fuck about the mouse functionality. That's not a low. I just don't care. But the bigger SR is what they call them, right? The bigger buttons there.
The magnetic attaching.
The larger thumbstick. The magnetic attaching was the thing. I wouldn't say worry because it wouldn't hurt me even if, it fell off. Put it back on.
Yeah.
I'm either holding it or it's docked or who cares. But it's that it is so strong and that it takes a release button to release the magnet and stuff. I was like, oh, that's good for the people who would have that
The
problem.
kid that holds it like this and goes, hey.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. He's holding the.
Yeah.
But I think there's also something fun about the Switch design, and because I bought my first one all gray, I bought my second one red blue, so I could do double blue.
Yeah.
And I think that it's cool, subtle design. I do wish there was like a colorful option because I think this one is like, it's weird how this one feels like the first Nintendo product in a long time geared towards adults who have whatever they want to play a childlike game, I guess, or a youthful game. Like Donkey Kong's for everybody, but the Switch 2 is not. It doesn't feel like it's designed. So the color choices and stuff that are like the rings is like an homage to the last console, which is funny. It's like a spiritual homage to like what did the Xbox One do? That was like, remember this thing about the 360? As if it was like 30 years ago.
Yeah.
You know? It was like, oh, okay. Like maybe if they made the Xbox One controller like the Duke in the green plastic, I'd be like, oh, that's cool. It's like the OG. I was like, what was your last console? I have it right here.
Yeah.
I'm playing it today. And we're homaging it is kind of strange to me, but I get it. I get it. Besides pricing, which is a new development overall. If it were a technical thing for me, I think my biggest down would probably be the display.
Okay.
which is not much because apparently it's got HDR and it's LCD, which I haven't seen in forever. It's like LED only. I think an OLED would have been great. And coming from playing the Switch OLED, which is what you're playing now, it might feel like a lateral or like a decline because of the brightness, the contrast, the thing. So I was one where I was like, I also get that you're only going 80% because you got to release the Pro. You know, as someone who loves Apple and iPhone, I understand the iPhone 16 will never be the iPhone 16 Pro.
Right.
So it's like, okay, you're going to give me the Switch 2 OLED edition eventually.
Right.
I'm not a Switch person. That's my disclaimer on it, but I just want to hear your biggest takeaways from it otherwise.
For me, the screen in handheld mode, I don't care about. I do play in handheld mode a lot.
Doesn't matter how it
looks.
I almost exclusively played in handheld mode. I don't think I ever put Pokemon on the big screen.
Oh, like I would rather, like for me, gaming is not a mobile thing. It is a stationary thing. So I play a lot of dock stuff. So the 4K 60 docked, I'm in, let's go all the way.
You guys have your living room built around the whole 2 TV situation though.
Yeah.
It's when Shay goes, I want to watch name stupid reality show now. I go, great, that's awesome. You want brain off mode? I'm going to play my game here and I'll be here with you.
Yeah.
Like it's the parallel play when you don't have 2 TVs.
Yeah. So I like that. I didn't really go either way on that. Especially after I saw on Kind of Funny, Tim reviewed the screens that he got hands on with, and he's like, I will choose it over my OLED Switch. And I'm like, wow, that's saying a lot coming from him specifically. Yeah.
A size and pixel count are, different too.
Yeah.
So that's beneficial. But
I'm excited about everything for the Switch. I think when the Switch got
you gotta give me the biggest.
When it got announced, I was excited for everything. Now with the tariffs and all the other stuff, now I'm
sure. You
heartbreak,
can't say everything,
right?
Truly,
but the biggest thing for me was probably the Donkey Kong.
It was a software piece.
Yeah,
Donkey Kong?
because the Switch 2. When I first saw the reveal, I was like, everything looks fine, looks great. The Joy-Cons are bigger, perfect. It seems to be more snap instead of a slide, perfect. The stand is a little bit more, that's great. But for me, that's going to come home. I'm going to maybe turn it on, do some stuff in handheld mode to get it all set up. And I'm going to put it in a dock and play.
And use your Pro Controller, yeah.
Exactly. So the Switch as a device to me isn't as important to probably a lot of other people because it's got that mobile stuff.
So the software is the function.
The software is...
Donkey Kong's probably the best highlight of the tech. Because it's got the, the destruction element of it. Red Faction Gorilla.
Yeah. Donkey Kong and Mario Kart because...
Mario Kart, yeah.
It's kind of one of those things, though. It's like... I've been through Mario Kart for so long, and I love Mario Kart. When they go, hey, we're doing a new Mario Kart, I go, cool. I can't get that excited because I don't know what else you're going to give me. But then they're like, hey, there's grinding, which is small. Look at all these characters. They seem to be adding a ton of new characters. You can just drive anywhere. It can be on a track, then you're off on the road. I'm like, oh, this is actually... You somehow still added to Mario Kart. We're gone so far. You're still adding somehow.
What you did is you broke the genre. I mean, it's a racing game by technicality, but it's the same thing of Forza to Forza Horizon. Yeah. We were like, oh, I can just off-road or Burnout Paradise. It's like, oh, I drive to my next race if I want. Yeah. But the fact that you can just queue up is like, I mean, at the end of the day, it is still just Mario Kart. Yep. The driving around, I was like, oh, cool. Now, my joke was, oh, now do I have to collect stars? Yeah. Like, am I going to have to fucking ramp off something and get stars? Like, is there going to be a driving...
That'd be cool.
Test. Yeah, well, but it's probably not going to be there. I mean, there's going to be some collectible, right? There's going to be some fucking Korok seeds sitting around.
Yeah. My thing when I was watching, because for me, you got Mario Kart, then they do the drifting, you can do the speed around the corner, you get the red, you get the blue, you get the boost. But then I'm like, we're adding grinding in. Is that going to also adjust speed? Like, is it going to be like, you could drift, but you could grind these corners. Like, is there going to be different map things that are going to be cool, or shortcuts going to be based around? It like opens that part for me. It was like when I do a course and I figure out the perfect run for a course, I'm kind of done. But there's more options to figure out that run for a course, which is exciting. DK should have been their launch title, in my opinion. Mario Kart looked whatever. Hokey.
Well, here's my question, Hokey. You're going to buy Mario Kart, right? Like, you're gonna buy it because what I was talking to Nick a little bit about this day. It's partially why I was kind of late today. Was because I was yapping.
Yep.
Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought? I had to go do a quick drop off, and I took him away from work for like 40 minutes.
That sounds right.
But we started talking Switch, talking tariffs, talking whatever, and how the game's $80 digital, $90 physical, which that price might change physical at least because of the translation of things. But $80 digital is like. I've talked about being a proponent of the $100 game with The Witcher. How is that not a $100 game when a $60 $60 at the time was I don't even know, Black Flag or something.
Yeah.
Like when did that was about the same time. And I'm like, Black Flag's a bad example because it's beloved
It's
and
also
large.
big, yeah.
But I can't think of another one off the top of my head. Fucking Rise, the
Yeah.
Gladiator game. I was like, if this game is $60, The Witcher should not be $60. It should be more.
Right.
It's easy to get comparative like that. But I think the changes are cool. But also, if we're being comparative within the Nintendo Switch first party ecosystem, I think this $80 makes sense. But if you're comparative to anything else, I don't understand how this is $10 more is only $10, right? But if it's only $10, why do it? I'm like, I don't want to say the new Assassin's Creed because I haven't gone all the way through it and it's got bugs and problems, but it was a $70 game, and $70 is kind of the new price point. But I don't understand the $80. It seems gougy to me, especially when the bundle comes for $50. It was like, I'm all about a discount, but their last bundle didn't offer a penny discount. I don't know if you remember, but whatever number it was blank 98 because it was just 2 fucking SKUs put together, and it was a whole penny, the same price. So that's confusing to me why it's at the price point that it is. But outside of all of that, I think Mario Kart is the game that if you own a Switch, you own Mario Kart. I don't know if another game has that stock. Say, stock.
Yeah.
Pun intended, clearly. But I think Smash Brothers is another huge one. I'll say Mario Party, Breath of the Wild, which was a launch title. I think those have a market share that is hefty, right? But I think that if you're looking at the digits, it's like everyone owns Mario Kart. It isn't the board game effect where it's like, well, you own Smash, so I don't have to.
Yeah.
It's we're all gonna own Mario Kart. I played Mario Kart on my Switch in San Francisco at the bar with randos, whatever. Like Mario Kart is just that. It's that bitch. You know what I mean? That's why you launch with it. And DK, although the better game technically, I think because of it's your favorite, right? So it looks awesome. I think it shows off more of the hardware. I think it shows all that. The difference is you can't put them both back to back because then people are going to choose and then forget. I think launching it a month later, people also aren't going to get their Switch in June. They're going to release in June. People aren't getting their Switch. Like, okay, I don't know if you're getting a Switch in June. So by the time Donkey Kong's out, it's practically a launch title. So I don't know.
Hoagie says, I mean, like, I didn't look at MK as needing to be made. I was confused of watching the highlights. I don't know anyone that plays Mario Kart alone for exploration.
I think that's all fair. That's all true. I mean, if you got me into Mario Kart, like I'm in the game, it's because I'm playing with you, I'm playing with Brent, and I don't want to explore unless you have something cool to show me, I guess. But otherwise, it's Smash Brothers had a story. Who gives a fuck? I didn't. Well, I played it to get a character or two, and I fucking hated it. And I was like, I only like playing as a party game with people.
That's fair,
right? Like that's just how I wanted to play it. But it was there. Mortal Kombat has a story. People don't care. More like another MK. Yeah. But there's those types of games where I think they're adding to the hardcore. But if you're fucking 9 years old, you might like roaming. But whatever. If I'm coming to your house to play, it might be fun to roam, but it's just an extra.
For me, I play every Mario Kart. I go through all the courses, and I essentially just like figure out how I race the courses. But once I do that, unless there's people around, there's no reason for me to pick up Mario Kart. The exploration just gives me another thing to pick it up by myself.
The way I look at this too is, we could draw a lot of synergies and whatever ties to it. How is Mario Kart not an annual thing? This is so much the Madden thing. Like, what do you change in Madden year over year? Sometimes they do something like they did from 2012 to 2013 where they introduce a certain physics engine where you can fucking run into your own line and fall over. Yeah. Which got me to return the game and play Borderlands. So
it's your fault, man.
It's your fault, Matt, that I played Borderlands, you pieces of shit. No, I love that game.
Yeah.
It's a mix between that and Tristan Eichenroth, who talked me into getting it.
Okay.
Only Hokie will know who that is. No, you know. We went and saw Halloween together. He was the loudmouth behind us.
Oh.
He's the guy who wouldn't shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I know him.
And look, he talked me into fucking whatever. Anyway, it's funny. You did actually meet that guy from my high school.
Yep.
But all the same, it's who gives a fuck what the iteration is. Add 12 more characters that don't change the way the game plays in any capacity. Give me half tracks that are old games that didn't make it into 8. that are the shittiest ones that exist, and then half new tracks sold. Everyone's buying it.
Yep.
This one just doesn't. It seems to have done better than that.
Yep.
So they've given us more than I think the people who are going to buy it may even deserve.
Or
but
expect.
you're considering maybe.
Yeah.
But I guess it's been, 10, 15 years since Mario Kart 8?
Yeah, I mean, Mario Kart 8
Because it was a Wii
Deluxe
U
had
title.
more had more stuff, and then they also have had released map packs since then.
Well,
But-
they've grown it, but that's where I'm like, you could have sold me fucking Mario 15 at this release because of you could have done a semi-annual
Mm-hmm.
release like a Pokemon, and Pokemon was a half-baked piece of shit. Apparently, I liked it,
I liked it too.
but a lot of people really fucking hated that game, and I can also argue the textures and everything were like a disgrace. But I think that's the Switch.
Yeah.
All the same, it still was one of the best-selling games of the year financially. So I'm like, they could have made this happen, but I think Mario Kart's the call. I also think Mario Kart is the one that a parent is going to look at and be like, I played Mario Kart. They might not look and go, I played Donkey Kong Country, or I played just the original Donkey Kong, I guess,
Right.
Technically. They might not see that samey feeling. And when did we get Donkey Kong in the movie that they might have taken their kid to? The Mario Kart section.
Yeah.
Like the portion of it, right? Like, we carded about it. So I think Mario Kart's the right call for a launch, but also eat shit, you're not going to get one until November.
I think that's the biggest thing is that
It doesn't even matter anymore. That's not the bigger conversation.
They could put all the games out in June when the Switch comes out. Only
I hope that's not the problem.
10% of the people are going to get it.
When I don't remember if you were there, but when we did the midnight Best Buy for the Switch 1, we had extras.
Yeah.
Not many. And we
No.
sold out the next day very quickly.
Yep.
But we had extras, and it was possible to get one. Anyone who showed up in line got one. I had the opportunity to scalp one off the top before the doors open. I got one. Like, I don't know. It was available.
Yeah.
I also was able to get a PS5 early and stuff, so I think there's some fucking wheeling and dealing I'm willing to do.
Yeah.
I'm down to get dirty with it, but
And I think initially the pre-order process, all that stuff, there hasn't been a console like when the Xbox Series X and Series S came out, I had both pre-ordered, ready to go. And one ended up being at Target, even though I wanted it both at Best Buy, but it didn't really matter. I had one. I knew I was going to get one. My biggest, the big thing now with the Switch is, are we going to get it? Because they're supposed to go, pre-orders are supposed to go live tomorrow in the
yep.
US. That's not happening anymore.
And what is it going to be affordable for anybody? It's
what's
got
the
all
price?
It's got all the
There's so
questions
many
because
other
we're
things.
tariffs. It all comes back to tariffs.
Yeah.
And I could talk about just tariffs for 3 hours.
My
so.
thing is now is like,
I've got 27 messages between Hokie and one other person to read regarding tariffs, I'm sure.
gotcha. My thing now, I'm like, okay, US, but can I pre-order in Canada? How far of a drive is the closest Best Buy in Canada?
I'm going to Canada 2 weeks from now.
Well, that doesn't help me.
3 weeks
It's not
from
out
now?
yet.
I know, but
Okay.
it's just I'm casually goofing off to Canada.
But I'm just saying, I was like, in my head, I was like, maybe I should do something like that. But I'm like, how much is it going to cost in gas? I can't take my car. What are we doing now?
Well, let me tell you, fucking Canadian versus USD, right? Like, there's already a fucking markup there.
Yeah. So, hey, that's a good fucking call. Canada might be the move. I'm not saying I'm seriously considering it, but I've thought about it. Like, should I even look into this?
Dude, that'd be one of those things 30 years from now, looking back, talking back on it, right? You'll be like, we drove to another fucking country to pick up a console.
Switch too. That would be cool.
You get it back, it's fucking region locked to Canada. Doesn't can't even download it. That'd be so funny. No, that would be that's a fun move. I would do that trip.
All right.
As of now, I don't want to switch.
Yeah. You might have to pay
Duties
on it. Duties.
Jesus.
He said it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, he did.
yeah, so maybe I'll look into it more seriously because I was kind of waiting to see
You just
what
send me the
words
Venmo,
would be
Hokie, I'll
on,
pick
but
one up for you.
I was kind of waiting to see what like the word on stuff was, but it's like how long do I have to wait or I'd like to have it pre-ordered, but I'm like, do I just go to like bestbuy.ca? Is that Canada? I don't know. A lot of questions, but that
You might be ready for a pickup in Cambodia. CA, who knows?
I'm also like, can I just ship it?
No.
No, right?
No,
You'd
I
have to
think
pick it up.
That's the problem.
That's the thing. Yeah. It's below 800 US values. Tariffs don't apply. Let's go. Are we all doing a road trip to Canada to get the Switch too? And you're going to pick one up too? Just because be part of the story? Be part of the excitement? And then
Just come here, fucking flip it.
I'm just saying.
And then buy Gundams.
And then yeah, I'm just saying.
Shay, I had to invest this much
had
money.
to.
It's how much it
I
cost.
had to.
Now it's Gundam money. I didn't turn it into Gundam money. It did it to itself.
Oh man, yeah. So
That's so funny. As an aside, Derek was talking about Gundam money as a joke because he has Tarkir stuff he wants to buy, and I sell to anyone who wants a Magic card, and I'm looking for cash. I'll be like, hey, $200 in codes will get you. It's 125 cash or whatever number I make up. So he's like, hey, we can do a deal. I'll pay you for these Tarkir cards. And I told that to Shay, and she goes, oh, great. Yeah, we could always throw that into the savings we're rebuilding and stuff. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's money. I know that sounds goofy, but I've always just been like, you buy me that thing I want, I'll buy you card you want of equal value. I get thing, you get card. So turning it into cash, I go, now I got to turn this cash into a thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, God, I'm so fucking.
It's fun money.
There's something
it's
wrong.
Fake money.
Well, because it is coming from the fun money pool, but it's being translated into real money. Like I said, it's a goofy thought, but when she said that, I was like, oh, yeah, you're right. Like I was disappointed, but I was like,
no. Don't live in Shay's world. Live in my world where I think about going to Canada to pick up a Switch too. It's much more fun over here.
That's a fun world.
It's a fun world.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. My concession will be, we'll get the dollar bills. I'm taking this many to buy this thing I want. The rest goes into saving.
There you go. All right.
That's what I want. I want Glory Finder.
That's fair.
And probably sleeves to sleeve it.
Okay. Well, now you fit your 125 pretty quick.
Huh?
If it's 125, I mean, Glory Finder was 100, right? Sleeves are going to be.
Oh,
$20.
that was one code. Yeah.
I see. Okay. Anyhoozle, what else did you have for video games or anything? I know we said we had a lot. We kind of ran through
I could just keep talking about Switch stuff. You didn't have it down. Your up was Donkey Kong.
My biggest up was Donkey Kong because it's one of those things that I've wanted for forever. I mean, my Nintendo 64 is the Donkey Kong N64, and it looks
great.
good.
The breaking things apart, the gold style of it, the title, it's all great.
My down.
Maybe something about it.
I mean, mine is waiting until 2026 for Duskblood, so that's gonna suck. But take your time with the game. I mean, I wish the base was $399 and $450 was with Mario Kart. The extra $50. I'm like, I get that we're at that point with it, probably with the tech and the stuff that they're throwing in it.
I mean, well, maybe, right? A PS5's $400, discless, and this can't run a fucking disc, so I think it's pretty compared. So you're telling me this is $50 more than a PS5
to carry it around,
which
for
you
the
don't
mobile,
do.
which I don't do.
I know, to play Donkey Kong, right? But I hear you.
I'm buying it, so I know what I'm getting into. So I wish the price was lower.
As someone with the PlayStation sits there, it's in my home network, so this is not the same as just being out on a fucking train or in a subway or something. Which apparently you don't want to be playing a Switch on the subway anyway. If you shit fucking grifted.
Whoa, I'd never been on a subway.
I mentioned that one time to Colin, and I mentioned it one time to Bastian separately about when he came out in Paris, when it came out, and it was like, you don't fucking do that. There's nothing out on a train because it is fucking slicker and shit. They're getting and running out the door, and I was like, oh well, love that anyway. But that being said, I just remote played on my phone. Mm-hmm. I played all of Hogwarts Legacy in this building, 20 miles away from my PlayStation, so it felt remote enough to me. I mean, you need really good internet, you need a controller that connects to it in some capacity. Like, you have the problems, but I was able to buy all that for less than $50.
Yeah.
Maybe not internet, I guess, but I had that anyway.
Yeah. I don't know. I love Nintendo. I love the games. I love my Switch.
Dude, hold on. One of the biggest downs for me, I almost agreed with Gary Whitta, and then he's fucking changed on me, is that fucking Astros Playroom game where it's you're running around and you're fucking wiggling on a joystick and stuff. It being $10. Mm-hmm. I'm like, dude, this game is
It's only $10?
This is a free game. It's only $10.
That's crazy.
Which, again, back to that argument, it's people who are like, it's only $10. I'm like, well, then why the fuck does Nintendo need it? Just give me that. It's as someone who got Astros Playroom, and I was like, this is actually a fucking blast. And it is also just teaching you how to use the PlayStation. And here's what we have special about the terabytes and the coolings and the whatever.
Teraflops, please.
No,
this is before.
No, it's because remember it came out with like 890 gigs because it was the fucking quantumly best number versus a terabyte or whatever. It was like some stupid shit. I did mean terabyte even though they didn't have one, but that game felt great and we got it for free. So again, maybe it's comparative, but I'm also like, you're giving me the tech demo for $10. Like,
well, when they said
just give me the tech demo.
When they said it was paid for,
really a game.
Well, when they said it was paid for, it was like, this will be available to be paid for. And I went, oh, it's paid for? Well, I won't play it. It's like, cool. And then because in my head, I was like, that's $30 easy. That's a $30 thing because it's
Nintendo
Nintendo.
doesn't make non-$30 games or
so
higher.
then when you say it's 10, I was like, wow, that's surprising. That's only 10. I still won't get it. I still never, even if you gave it to me for free, I don't think I'm playing it.
I'd be curious. At the very least, I'd be like, oh, there's probably something in here that tells me something unique about it that I'm interested in. Like, or I'm always curious about the HD Rumble tech demos. Like, what was that game? Was it 1-2 Switch? Where it was like
Maybe,
a bunch, it was just a shitload of mini games.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, that one has a Mario Party feeling to it. There's something communal about it, whatever. And it was like, oh, how many beads are in this thing as you're rolling the fucking whatever back and forth. But that exists in this. It exists on the Switch 1. It's coming back for the Switch 2 with no noticeable or mentionable differences. It's like, just give me this tech demo. Give me this. It's crazy to me that it's only $10. It was like, if the game was only worth $3, would you charge me $3 or would you give it to me for free? And I feel like $10 for a company who's setting their new minimum at $80. $10 is the same as a fucking $50 game to a $3 game. I'm like, that's crazy to me.
I mean, I don't think they're setting their new minimum. I think Mario Kart's 80, but Donkey Kong's 70.
Why?
I don't know. But
That's crazy.
But everyone says that. Everyone says their new game's 80, but I think Donkey Kong's $70. I still find it crazy that I can emulate Switch games on my ROG Ally, get better performance, and it's cheaper.
Hoki's still losing the Oxford, dude. Separate. That's a callback to a text conversation.
Oh, okay.
He must still be going through it, but yeah, the ROG Ally, or even because it's Linux based, you can still do it on like a Steam Deck or whatever. The emulation things. I know that's emulation, which is like it's the opposite of what Nintendo's trying to do. Where it's like, well, we should be paying something for some. I mean, not everything. Not this fucking tech demo.
Yeah, sure.
But
maybe that's why they're charging you $10 because Hoki's over here stealing the games. Yeah. Maybe if Hokie didn't steal so many games, we get some tech demos for free.
Dude, I've watched you stream emulations, all right?
But I own the games. I own the games, but the emulation runs better and looks better.
Okay.
But I paid the money. I got the games.
Well, how do you know he doesn't own the games? He owns a Switch.
He doesn't own them.
What do you mean?
Look at
he
him.
owns
Look
Breath
at
of the
that.
Wild.
Look at
He
that
owns
name.
Mario. I've seen
Look
the
at that
collection.
name. Look at that name. No way. Impossible.
Look at his name, like a Hokey
Well,
Pokey.
because I said look at that face, but his face isn't there. So I'm like, look at his name. I don't have his
I'll
face.
pull up a photo. Look at that
look at that face.
Look
You
at
can't
his
trust it.
fucking face.
You can't trust
That's
it.
so funny. I own them. There you go.
Sure. Show me the receipts.
That'd be crazy if he had some of them receipts. That'd be some like decade-old receipts.
I have receipts in a lot of my old games.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
I have. I would just me and Alex just 100% at Halo C Anniversary. Came out in 2016. No,
I don't fucking know.
2011. Whenever it came out,
That's a big gap.
I know. I
Holy
think
shit.
I said 16. That was different. I think it was
16?
wrong. Either
11?
way, I bought it way back when. Had the receipt in the front. I was like, hey,
said, oh, look at
I know
that.
where I picked it up.
Get out of the way. I'm gonna get this disc.
No, well, it was still in there. I'm gonna put the disc back, and I'll never touch that game again because I don't.
I think I
ever
have
need
it in
to,
my
but-
movies. I have it in the movies.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I mean, I just got Donkey Kong 64. I own it. Got the N64 for it, but I got the emulation on the computer just because it runs better and looks better, and I can stream it, which I don't have a way to stream an N64 because, HDMI,
I get it.
red, yellow, white. You know how it is.
Yeah, the first Switch runs like dog shit. So it's having a PC. It runs the games that take 0 to no effort, right? The ones I can run on my phone or anything else. That's fine.
I don't know. I've never had a problem with the Switch.
I know.
running
You
stuff.
also don't quote unquote see frame rates and stuff. So
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We're talking full legal backups. This isn't NOM. There are rules, says Hokie. Yeah, I haven't noticed. Anytime someone says 60, I'm like, sure, whatever. Give it. It doesn't matter. 30, 60, it's all the same.
that reminds me.
Okay.
A silly thing. This isn't on their rules. The person I'm always joking about that I'm like, man, I wish your Letterboxd reviews were just a little bit better when they're strong. Gave The Big Lebowski this week a 4.5 out of 5.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, that's great. And I was like, oh, they put a review. The review, Irving. That's it.
Okay.
And what's that about? That is because John Turturro is in Severance, and that's his character's name in that. And I'm just like, God damn it!
I'm sorry.
I wish I didn't have any curiosities about you.
Alas,
I am curious.
that reminds me, there's currently a joke me and Bethany make all the time because Bethany watched all of I Fell Asleep of because I was sick. We watched the Dead Don't Die with
the Jim Jarmusch.
Adam Driver and Bill Murray.
Yeah, Jim Jarmusch
yeah.
wrote, directed.
Okay.
But yeah,
But there's a joke in there we always keep calling back to, and it's very like.
When did you watch that movie?
It was like I said when I was sick. Like she's like, "Oh, you want to watch this?" And I was like, "Yeah,
and
put
you
on
were,
something."
yeah.
And I got probably over halfway through it, and then I was like, "I've got to go to bed. My head hurt. My eyes are hurting, keeping them open." And she's like, "Can I finish
That's
it?"
a
I'm
funny
like, "Go
dry
ahead."
humor movie. Yeah, we saw that one in theaters on a date, Shane.
But I keep bringing it. I was like, "What do you think it was? Wild animal or several wild animals?" All the time. It's just so funny that I love that moment. That it was really good. And she's like, "I don't know if you need to watch the rest of the movie." And I was like, "Well, I want to know what happens in it." And she's like, "I don't know." And I was like, "Wow, that's weird for you to say because you were invested in the beginning."
It gets weird.
Yeah.
She's right. It gets to a spot where I was like, "Oh, I really didn't think this was the movie we were making."
I know that there's because there's a fourth wall break early on. She's like, they break the fourth wall again. I'm like, that's cool. Like it's out of nowhere, but it's interesting. So
yeah.
But anyway, that was one movie that I didn't put on here because I haven't technically finished, but I did have a lot of fun with the beginning of it.
Yeah, that's good.
So
yeah, finish it. Finish it 2 years from now, then put a review on it.
Perfect. Sounds good. Well, I watch a little bit more, then stop. And
That's
then
right. A false ending.
Yeah, exactly. When I think it's going to end. Well, when you told me I had 15 minutes left in it, I was like, oh, I guess I'll finish it. Then I watched 30 minutes. I go, how am I still in this movie? And you go, oh, no, the other part where they're in the tent in the sand. And I went, God damn it.
I didn't know where you were.
Anyway, do you have anything else before we sign off, Stokes, and do the whole outro
Too much
thing?
to fit here.
That makes sense. So we'll all come back to it and do it next time. But until next time, we're going to sign off as we always do and say sweet dreams, and we'll see you for breakfast.